Good morning, Hex fam. How's everybody doing today? It's your boy, GRC. We got Sam Stoll in the background. We got Hex Tangent maybe coming on. We got all sorts of things to talk about today. It's a Saturday. It's a chill day. We're not super worried about it, but we're having a blast. Sam's been extremely active lately. I don't want to stay out of his way sometimes because he's just like, he's a missile of truth and power. And a lot of people are scared of Sam Stoll intellectually because he's very persistent. He motivates me so much to learn more every single day. I've never felt more motivated when he's hardballing me, right? You know, he does it in a nicer way when he's with me, but in general, like he's tough on me too. Sam knows if he's a lazy bitch, I won't be friends with him, and I know if I'm a lazy bitch, he won't be friends with me. So that's the mutual respect that we were just talking about it on the show before. The reason we jive so well is because, you know, our ethos on this show is just going to be honesty till the end. Like, we'll just rather it be dead than I'm not selling out to any fucking. You come on, guys. That's a joke. Anyway, guys, we have a good show. I want to remind everyone that's watching right now, we are going to be covering pulsechain after launch every single day. Repeat that to yourself and write that down. And the amount of value that me and Sam are going to be providing as pulsechain labs. No, you don't need to join our pay group. No, you don't. What a coinky dink. You don't. You just have to watch our videos, subscribe, flex on them every once in a while, and enjoy the show, guys. We're really digging deep here. We're trying our best. We're being as creative and as passionate as we can as we move forward with these projects. And we're going to see what happens. And I'm thinking Joe Rogan level.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker.
Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
Bought my hex from the fucking start. Point one every day we mark. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and they'll get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Girl flexing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Hart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hit restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart. Richard Hart.
What's up? Cutting me off first thing. What's good? You're good, brother. Good morning.
Good morning, bro. We both haven't worked out today yet.
Do you take the weekends off? I take a lot of
No.
weekends off.
Oh, you do take weekends off. That was one of the weirdest things when you told me that. Like, one of the most counterintuitive things about you, for me, was that you took weekend gyms off. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, as far as biology, it makes plenty of sense. But, like, I know me, it's like when I have free time, maybe I just have too much free time now I have no free time on the weekends, so maybe I will know what you're talking about now because I haven't thought about one thing except working all day, Sam. What about you?
Dude, same. And like you mentioned it beforehand, but like I'm really been trying to go in. Like I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm trying to like.
He's taking bodies with him. He's taking bodies with him, guys. If you ever run into this dude on the internet and you are not ready to answer all his questions, don't answer the first one. Don't answer the first one because there's a follow-up. And that's good, though. That's good. That's something that no longer happens in cryptocurrency. That's no longer happens in life. You don't go down the street and see people thinking critically anymore. The only places people think critically is in their house by themselves because everything else is an absolute vampire energy suck.
And so many times we see, like, if when you didn't work in corporate, like I was working in corporate, but you see people ask questions, right? Like, so I go into a meeting. I was in a district at the bank, and there was 18 branch managers. I was a branch manager, and super easy job. And you go into these meetings on a monthly basis. Somebody would ask a question. The person up front would answer the question, and you could clearly see on the person's face that they had no fucking idea what that meant. Like they didn't have any freaking clue what the answer was, or they had follow up or clarification to that question, and they just sat there and shut up. And I was like, you can't do this. So I'm in these corporate meetings, and I'm asking questions like
Just like
nobody
you are.
else.
Just like
I am. Correct. And they would like give me a hard time because I was like, hey, well, if you're not being clear and nobody else wants to ask these questions, I don't care what you think of me. If this isn't clear, I'm going to still keep asking these questions.
You just hacked life, though. You kind of hack life when you do it like that because you're not giving anyone an angle on you because there is no angle. You're just in a profession where they say, I'm going to pay you, Mr. Sam. I'm going to take my money and pay you, and don't ask any questions. Don't think critically. Just be a fucking slave, zombie. Don't speak. Just do your work. That's what they would. You would have still been doing that if you didn't ask questions. Or
because I gotta learn. I gotta learn.
How can you learn that you're in a scam of a job if you don't learn that you're in a scam of a job? You know what I mean, though? Like you probably opened your eyes to some things too, which made your ethos develop because you were like, F this junk. Deep down, you know, you're a kid. You don't give a fuck.
Within 60 days, I knew I wasn't going to be there. Within 60 days, I knew I wasn't going to stay there. Within 60 days,
when you first told yourself, were you like, man, this is how life is? Or were you just like, nope, not a chance?
Well, let's see. That was about 3 years ago. So 3 years ago, I had been switching jobs and moving every year to a year and a half since I was 18. So think about that. Like I'd already been doing that for 15 years. I was 34, right? Or 33 or something. I was that old. And every year or 2 years since I was 18, I was switching jobs and switching locations physically where I was at. And after doing this and selling my previous business, I was like, I don't want to work for a company. I'm there for 60 days, and I'm like, not only I'm leading the people in the branch, but I got to lead my own boss.
No, you have to lead everyone because every room that you're in, you lead everyone. I'm the same way in some respects too, but I'm just talking about your personality in general. Like, you can't help it. You need to know the answers. You need to be smarter than everyone in the room because you are a leader naturally. And it's not, God didn't say, oh, Sam, you're a fucking leader and everyone else is fucking pleb. No, Sam's a male. He's ginormous. And he's for hundreds and thousands of years, they've been tearing people's heads off and fucking.
But you
know what I mean? Like, you're wired to take over.
But you also
the most legal, very legal, normal way you can because you're like, I'm gonna take over somehow. Let's figure out how to do it. That's exactly how I am. Everyone's like, all this shit. I'm like, I'm not worried about working someone's job. I'm trying to take over a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to change the game. I want to change the conversations that are being had around the world. That is way more exciting than working for some douche. Hold on, I lost you for a second. Jump out, jump back in. Yeah, I was on DS last night, guys. Hold on, let me see if I would jump out, jump back in, Sam. You were good up until that point. I have wound hands from pledging Hex to Maxi contract. Oh, Jesus, Lord have mercy. So do I. Oh God, A-Bit. Don't be FOMOing me right now, please. I gotta have the good show. A-Bit, dude, Sam, A-Bit is ripped.
There he is. I
saw a picture of A-Bit with his shirt off yesterday. He's ripped.
He's like, I'm not Jack. He's like flexing in the mirror, like the mirror's breaking, and like
yeah. I was like, dude, got abs. And he was like, bam. I was like, his delta. I was like, boom. Dude, I love checking out dudes' bodies. Can't lie to anyone.
people don't realize, like, they're like, I'm gonna go work out so I can get girls. But like, you don't get compliments from girls. Like, once you're in the fitness community, you get compliments from dudes 100 times more than you get compliments from girls.
Yeah, like if Chad if Chad Schwartz was in here, I would just be like, dude, you gotta show us your fucking delts, dude. I seen them in the picture; they're so big. And then, like guys just fixate on it because it's like, oh, what is possible on another human? Because like I know my triceps, for example, will never be world class, right? I just don't have a big giant arm like that. But I see people that do it. I'm like, that's really cool.
No, exactly, 100%.
Bro, I'm like totally out of shape. You got this, dude. I think what we should do if A-Bit's down, because he is such a powerful and awesome and amazing member of the community, I'd be willing. We should do like a fitness challenge with A-Bit.
Or like a Hex fitness challenge where a bunch of people do it over the course of 90 days to like really transform and go after what they want. Like, if you want to get leaner, cool, let's do it. Let's like broadcast it. Let's like.
How do you think let's summarize real quick. How do you think that we could, and anyone who tries to steal our idea, it's going to suck because you actually have to be the people that are good at it. So it doesn't.
You never have to be concerned about people stealing your ideas because like 99% of people don't do anything. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just like, this is reality.
Ian jumps on it. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking savage.
Correct. Exactly. You'd be like, dude, you're doing awesome.
I'd be like, can we be friends? Can we be friends? That's what I'm telling.
Correct.
So how we're different. Dude, A-Bit used to be 220 pounds ripped. Wow. A-Bit, and I believe you because you wouldn't have said that because you're nowhere near 220 pounds now. You're probably 50 pounds off of that. So I can only imagine you with 50 pounds on your frame. Send pics. Now, dude, A-Bit, you have to show off that shit, bro. Show off that shit online. Show people what a savage you were. And you still are.
Happy Easter. I think T. Rob might be my buddy.
Oh, this is what we should do, Sam. I just figured it out. We should tell everyone to get the most attractive picture of their body that they have in their whole entire phone. Everything since they were in maybe 20 years old will be the cutoff. And we should say, let's see how close we can get back to this picture.
Whatever that is to them.
To them, right? It could just be cute and clothes. Some people could be, I need this six-pack. But some people be like, oh, I look so good in this, T-shirt and jeans. It was just amazing. I felt so good. Other people be like, oh, I want to see if I can bench 400 pounds again. Like, those are totally different goals. But the same thing is grab a picture of you that you respect and that you like. You know what? Let's do this fucking right now because I'm going to action take it.
We can use the hashtag on Twitter. You can post the picture there and then we can share it on here and help in any way to like move forward.
I'm starting a thread, Sam. What should it be called? Hexagon? Oh, yes. Someone to talk to you while I work.
Ted in the house.
Guys, again, I have really good feelings right now inside of my body. So I'm a little excited. Fitness challenge accepted. Oh, dude, I love this, dude. We're doing this live. I'm going to work on this live while you and Tangent rip up. So, guys, we're going to do a fitness challenge. You don't have to work out a certain amount of days. You don't have to do a certain workout. You don't have to eat anything. But if you want information on all that, obviously it'll be presented. But what you have to do is you have to pick the best picture of yourself and you have to post it on this thread I'm about to create. So I want you to post the best picture of yourself. You don't have to be not pretty and stuff. I'm talking like a nice body picture where you felt proud.
Whatever is important to them.
Whatever's important to you. And it doesn't matter if you're a dude. Come on, we're all different. I'm 5'8". Sam's 6'4". He could literally eat me. Literally, if he was like, Scott, we could be sitting in the room and he'd be like, Scott, I'm gonna eat you for dinner tonight. And I'm gonna be like, all right, like unless I have a gun, there's nothing I could do but that's not the point. The point is genetics are genetics, guys. We're adults. We're humans. We're living on this experience. I don't care if you're 110 pounds. Bullish is a skinny guy. You think I would ever give a shit? I'm a fucking short little meatball. And I don't leave my house. Like, there's no judgment here, guys. There's none. Sam is not, no matter what you guys think about Sam, he's not some celebrity fucking, like, they from an outside perspective, it probably looks like you're trying to be some celebrity who has attention for validation because you're very intense and you have all this. But no, this is how Sam is every day, every single day. He's been like this for years. So when people come me sideways about Sam at all, I'm kind of sideways at them. I'm like, you're sideways, boy, because you don't know which way is up. You don't know what a real person looks like. You don't know what someone who's been through hell and back 5 times over and helped people along the way with a smile on his face. You know what I mean? Like
All
that's
the
the
time.
people that I like to hang out with. Tangent probably can't relate because he's a pleb. Just kidding. Tangent's a fucking god. Tangent's a literal god, and he's literally going to be debating RH at some point, and he's literally freaking called the next
What?
bull, absolute bull runner.
You're
Bro.
gonna.
Bull run confirmed.
What's up? Boom.
Morning, Tangent. How you doing? I want
What's
to
up?
talk
What's
to
up?
you.
What's up?
Hey,
I'm well.
anybody who's in the comments, who's enjoying this, press the like button. Take a second, press the share button. When that comes up, there's a Twitter button. Press the Twitter button and share this on Twitter if you're enjoying the content. If you're getting value from what we're talking about, what the content that's about to come out with Tangent is going to be awesome because I'm going to pick his brain about liquidity and just crypto in general. What's up, brother? I wanted to first ask you about what's going on with Australia, bro. Like, what happened with your stuff and the new law that came out?
Sorry,
You're
wait. Sorry. Just repeat that last bit. What happened to my what?
What's up with Australia, man?
Any updates on Australia? We know you had been you taking a little
Ooh.
time off of your YouTube channel because maybe you were worried about some loophole laws that you might get tied up in. So you
Yeah,
said,
yeah. I'm not too worried about it anymore. I'm not too concerned, but I just
He's got
decided
this like
I wouldn't.
devilish smile on
The
his face.
feds got to him already. The feds already got to him, dude. He's done. He's taking meat. He's taking meat, guys.
You see my eyes like darting off, darting off screen to my
Nothing
handler.
here, guys.
So yeah, everything's fine.
Bitcoin to the moon.
There's like a whiteboard that he's reading off of. I
Right,
am
you guys go at it
100%
for a
okay
second.
right now. So give us context. Like we're most of the people here are probably in the US. Like what exactly happened out there?
Well, this a friend of mine told me that he was like, oh, I heard some shit on the radio. He's like, you're probably already aware of it, about those crazy new rules they've got that they're going to be cracking down on people handing out financial advice and that sort of thing. And I was like, no, I actually haven't heard about this. So he told me what he heard on the radio, and that was that it specifically included crypto, and that the maximum penalty if they determined that you were giving unsolicited or like unlicensed financial advice was maximum $1 million fine or 5 years in jail. And so before I even looked into it at all, I just went and just turned my YouTube channel off. I just did it immediately because I was like, that is such an extreme, with risk assessments, you've got probability and consequence, and you multiply those two things together. And those consequences are so high that even if your probability of it being a problem is low, your risk still gets assessed as being high because the consequence is so extreme. So I just didn't hesitate. I just turned the channel off. And then obviously I posted about it on Twitter, and then over time, people discussed it and that sort of thing. And it doesn't sound like it's going to include crypto yet. But I just thought, well, there's no point me turning the channel back on until I'm ready to actually make a video. And I haven't really had time lately. So the channel's still down until I actually want to make my next video. And that's when I'm going to turn it back on.
Okay. Is this, you can just make all your videos private? Is that kind of what you did? Or
yeah, there's two things you can do. You can completely delete the channel, or you can basically hide the channel. And hiding the channel, the only bad part about it is it deletes every comment that you have ever made as that user. And it also deletes every comment, like every reply that you have made to anyone else's comment. So when I turn my channel back on, the videos will still be there and everyone else's comments will be there. But any replies that I've ever made to anyone's comments, any comments that I've ever made on my own videos or on other people's videos, all gone, all permanently deleted. But that was a price I was willing to pay. I think it's a pretty dumb way for them to do it, but I'm not sure why.
Because I didn't think about that. We think about like crypto as like resistant, so to speak, from censorship in a way, but when you do dumb shit like that, and yeah, there's also like idiots out there that are really trying to scam people, but taking that approach and really trying to make it so that it's much more challenging to educate people is like such a foolish I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Because you think about like stopping crypto, slowing crypto down, when we always go to the other route of like, you know, Coinbase, like, and trying to make it like illegal to mine in the country and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
So
it's a really good point that basically people, it is true that cryptocurrency itself or crypto assets themselves are censorship resistant, or should be if they're real crypto. However, the authorities are always able to regulate and punish around the fringes, which is put individuals in cages, make threats, their usual tactics. So the fiat gateways are regulatable. The individuals are regulatable if they can identify who you are and what you're doing, and they can mock up some charges against you. Then, so just because crypto assets themselves are censorship resistant does not mean that you using them extends you this invulnerability to nation state shitfuckery and regulatory overreach and all those sorts of things.
Because as soon as I saw your thing, that was like what, 2 weeks ago, right? Or something like that, maybe 3 weeks ago. I was like, okay, in every video, I'm going to be like, hey, don't do any of the fucking shit I tell you I'm talking about in these videos. This is for entertainment and educational purposes. Because
yeah, man, that was the other thing that scared me. Was my friend said to me, he said that they also mentioned that whole like people saying not financial advice was going to do like F all to ass cover. And so I think I may have said this previously, but I believe that there's good intention in this type of setting these sorts of boundaries, because there are scammers out there, and there are finfluencers, those forex traders, and this sort of like financial scammery existed prior to crypto and continues. And I think they should attempt to crack down on it, or at least educate about it. However, the problem is that when they dragnet that shit, some people will get caught up who just like all laws, unfortunately, the entire legal structure always ends up with, there'll always be some people who are innocent who get caught up and punished, and there'll be some people who are guilty and actually go free, walk free, and are criminals on the streets. And so my issue comes in, and I'm okay with that, like as in that's an unnecessary aspect of having a legal structure that, like, a legal system that attempts to keep the majority of people safe and the society running smoothly. However, what I don't like, which I suspect will happen, is they can use laws to target people that they don't like, i.e. people who speak truth to power, i.e. myself, and use those laws and like liberally and say, oh, we think this guy's giving out financial advice when I'm clearly not, but just because they don't like the shit that I am saying that isn't financial advice. So fortunately for me, with a small subscriber base, I think I'm less susceptible to that happening to me as, say, people that have huge follower bases who are really whipping up a frenzy. I'm not going to name any but you can probably guess who they are. I'm talking about non-crypto people here.
Yes, or the people that are like the far more mainstream crypto, because this like
but those guys are so baloney at this point. I think what they do is they just go so media like baloney that they turn into like some entertainment shit. You know what I mean? It's like at some point people decide, like, if you get big enough, you have to make a decision. Like, I'm probably rich already. Like, I'm saying down the line, if you have a channel that's blown up, you were right about investment advice the whole time. Okay, you're rich as fuck, clearly at that point. Right? A lot of these guys are broke as fuck that are just like the marketing mouthpieces because they either leverage trade, but some of them are rich as fuck too, like the ones that do business well and hold all their shit. But I'm telling you, you can always tell how a channel's doing like the type of legitimacy of the content in a way. Do you know what I mean, Sam? A little bit like you can predict how the channel is 35 seconds into the guy speaking. Right.
That's why I was like, let's talk to Tangent, because we spoke about this before we came on here, right? Like when you talk to certain people, you can kind of like tell that like maybe they're trying to do a good thing, or they say they're trying to do a good thing, but there's not necessarily a tremendous amount of. You have to have like awareness, so to speak, to be able to provide value to other people. And you can't provide value to other people when you don't have any fucking awareness, because my definition of value is going to be different than Tangent's, which is going to be different than GRC's.
Wow,
and
that was really a powerful statement right there.
And Tangent, there's a level of awareness with Tangent that allows him to articulate things in a way that is really, I enjoy that. And when you go to other channels, sometimes, right? I appreciate it, dude. Like that's why I was like, hey man,
don't get me started about other channels. I can't.
Yeah, no. Okay. On a like, this is very heady, but then I want to talk to you about LPs. So laws. I was having this discussion the other night. Do you think there should be laws, or do you think there's a way to structure society in such a way where you don't need laws because there's such a degree of transparency? I don't know. And I just like a theoretical question. I don't know if there's a right or wrong, and you obviously can't go from where we're at to no laws. It would be a progression over time, but like, it is an interesting question. Like if you think about laws in who they impact, like you were just talking about the net that's catching good people, but it's also catching bad people, right? In the kind of idea to try to catch bad people, but you also have things using legislation to target people, like what they did here in the United States with Trump, right? They're trying to use legislation to target an individual. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not exactly legal in how I see the world, right? So you were like, well, is there a better way to go about doing this? Is there a way to kind of get rid of laws if it's a progressive step over time? Because you think about the last 200 years, and same thing over there probably, we don't have anything that sunsets these rules. So you just stack shit upon shit upon shit upon shit. And good intentions to begin with. And then over time, you just have this bureaucratic labyrinth of garbage that sits there and makes to do anything like very, very challenging. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think there's a utopian world where we can get to that place where transparency is so high that you can get rid of laws?
No.
So a few years, like, so it coincident with my crypto journey, I went full anarchist for a period, believing that you could have basically, rules without rulers agreed upon, so that you don't have, it's just basically non-aggression principle, property rights, and everything else just gets fucked off. But I think the more I thought about it, and I haven't spoken to any of the real big name anarchists to answer some of these queries for me, but there are things like, say someone starting a business where they they'll collect your toxic waste, but then they'll just go and dump it in a river or something like that. Like, how do you handle that in an anarchist society without it being that when someone finds out that they're doing it, that they go and like physically harm them? Which I think, a lot of anarchists will say stuff like, sometimes anarchy gets a little bit messy, which means when Coca-Cola comes to town and starts draining all the water supply that the villagers need for them to make the Coca-Cola, eventually the villagers just rise up and go and burn down the Coca-Cola plant. Like, we can't be having that shit, right? Like, and also it's not sustainable, because it'll just keep happening with different companies and different scammers. Like, you can't kill all the scammers; they just keep coming up. So
I was getting scammed the same way in RuneScape in 2001 that you are getting scammed today in blockchain technology.
Yep.
It's the exact same verbiage, the same everything, down to the other than they say, instead of crypto, you give me whatever the currency in the video game would be at that moment. I played RuneScape. I remember my mom gave me like $20. She said I could be a member. I was like 12. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be a member. And so I'm going in, and the first thing first, this dude's like, dude, you send me 10K, I'll send you 20K. I said, dude, that's okay. That's not so much. That sounds great. And it was just a little, he sent it back. And again, I'm like 11 at this fucking point, you know, and I sent the dude all my shit. You know, they keep adding on to the pile. They keep saying, but they keep sending you more back. So you're like, dude, this is legit. When you're a little kid, you're like, fuck yeah. And then at some point, they just turn their computer off when they get their last bag.
Ivan on Tech has a similar story about how he got hacked on RuneScape, and that meant that he didn't get hacked didn't get scammed. Sorry, when he started doing crypto, because he'd learned that lesson as a kid. Someone had said, the security on your account has been compromised. Just give us your password and we'll like log in and
that's happening.
Make sure the security is legit on your account. And as a kid, he was like, oh yeah, I want my shit to be secure. Gave this person his password, boom, took everything.
Because Sam, they play off emotional ignorance only. That's it. That is their only play. Sam, that's their only play. So they go to a whole pile of people. They look for 3 people that don't have enough information yet to understand what a scam is in that ecosystem, or even what ecosystem they're in. Do you understand what I mean?
And it's particularly distasteful because they're doing it to kids. They're doing it to kids who don't have, who are more easily scammed because they haven't learned that the world's a dangerous place.
Well, the kids
and not necessarily kid. When you say kids, you probably don't necessarily mean in age, just kids in terms of the maturity level of understanding. Because you can be 60 years old and get fucking ripped off because you're just ignorant, right? Or not ignorant as in like it's a bad thing. You're naive.
We rip off people for a living, guys. Guys, it's tangent. If we all move to my house right now, we say we're starting a new business, Square Zero. We're gonna rip people off for a living.
Oh, so are we gonna do a startup?
No,
are we gonna do a startup?
We gotta raise money for our business. I've got an idea for a token.
We're doing sacrifice phase for our startup. So we're doing a sacrifice phase for our startup, and you don't get any coins minted right away. In a couple months, you'll get some coins. Okay, but not right away. And
then we're gonna have delays, and then we'll have more delays, and then we'll do another sacrifice phase to amplify your first phase or something like that.
The only reason RH can get away with this stuff, and he knows this to be true as well, is because he's earned our respect intellectually, and he's earned our respect through every single day being online, telling us what the fuck is up, and it all coming true. So everyone else that wants to say I owe you respect for anything, I owe your project or this or that respect, you can lick in between my nuts. In my butthole.
Yo, I can't wait to do the TED talk where we're like, we started off as a small startup just in the garage of GRC's house, and now we are scamming millions of people a day.
Tangent. The account that my account has 150 million liquid hex.
Did you hear that?
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I've told everyone that at this point.
Well, okay.
Yo.
On the laws thing, going back to the laws thing for a second. What if so in that example you put forth, right? Somebody says that I'm going to pick up your excrement, right? And I'm going to just dump it in the river, right? And then they get found out. But what if we could create a mechanism, and this would kind of be the quasi law, where the mechanism forced increased transparency. So why are people dumping this in the river? Because they're doing it they're hiding it, or they're doing it in a way because they know it's a bad thing and they're going to get caught. So if there was a mechanism that forced increased transparency in behaviors of what people are doing, so to speak, but then you have to deal with the other side of that.
Incentive structure, like as in if you had an incentive structure for good behavior, then people would be incentivized to do the right thing, and then I think that could be quite a
I don't agree with that anymore because the marketing's so terrible in general. Marketing just ruins there's no such thing as what you just said, because marketing does not let people know what the right thing to do is anymore.
Aren't we sort of theoretically starting a new society sort of thing?
Yeah,
like
cool.
as
with RH and the whole dude, I would love if we lived near each other, bro. Dude, that would be sick, bro, dude. I'm telling you, bro. In the future, we could live near each other, dude.
Wait, I just had another idea for our startup. We use the Richard Hart line of We knew these fools were going to lose their money anyway, so we just
Decided to help them.
We took their money
In state
so that it was safe from scamming. So we do what the American government does. We actually call the startup the anti-scam trust or something like that. We call it the opposite of what it really is, and then we just go and flat out scam everyone, take their
Real
money.
quick,
Cool.
I have to do a call out real quick for my boy Bob. Dude, this dude is like, this dude started a Telegram for me for no reason. I didn't even know him. He didn't know me, but he's like, hey, I want to help the community. So I want to make a Telegram because you're a streamer. Literally had 100 subs. And he was just like, I want to make a Telegram for you. And I was like, dude, that's so awesome. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Next thing, I meet him for the first time last night on camera on FN Hangout. So Bob Lagai is fucking awesome, dude. Honest dude. You could tell it. When he says information, it's detailed. Very detailed and long. It's long form. Every answer he gives is like 3 paragraphs long with detail. It's incredible what this guy's bringing to the table. He sounds like he's been around forever. I don't know his whole story. Everyone knows him. And that is not him in the picture. Can confirm he has no mullet. And but no, Bob, thank you so much for the $20. Gotta go for now, but I'm interested in Tangent's thoughts on Hex liquidity, fan fiction. I pinned on my Twitter. Let's go to it.
So we'll go and look up what he's talking about and have a comment.
Yeah.
By the way, before we go too much
sure.
further, I just want to be real clear with everyone. We are effing joking. Like we would scamming is never okay. Scamming is never okay. There's no justification.
What?
Unless you're 555ing the scam money.
No,
and
no.
Hey, listen before you go on. You guys think
Yep.
I'll scam everyone, redistribute it into a 555, mint the hedron, and then redistribute it to the people I scammed from in the future in order to change the world, because they'll be blessed with so much money and they'll have no idea it's coming that they'll all trickle down, help everyone.
It's an interesting. I mean, like, there's so many ways you could twist that, right? Like, we're trying to create a safer society by realizing how many people we can rip off, so that people increase their security. Like you're like that's in a TED talk, right? Like there would be so many ways.
Hey, that guy who ripped me off, I promise you, dude, I've been on roids ever since, dude. Ever since you ripped me off, I have not slept, brother. I have been running. And if we ever meet in real life, I'd
ready
love
for
to do
the
a
day.
handshake. Literally, a fucking handshake I'd like to give this guy, because he's changed my life forever. He changed my life forever. And I'm
a handshake around the neck.
No, dude, I'd be like, dude, if you really needed that money, whatever you're doing in your life, maybe got fucking beat his whole life. Who knows? He could have gotten beat every day till he was 15 years old and then he finally ran away. Stuff like that, guys. I think about all these things. I was in that recovery community for a long time. You never judge a drug addict. Why? Because it's like they're the ones fucking their life up. Like, what, you think they want to wake up every day and do heroin? No, it's not how it. And people don't want to do that. It's a fucking illness, sickness. I mean, obviously you can do steps to get better or worse, but like, again, we're all covering this ignorance topic. It's what people don't know. It's what people don't say. You can watch a whole stream from one of these Furu streamers. It has nothing to do with what they were chirping on about. All that was fine. But they avoided talking about security. They avoided talking about anything that benefited anyone else, anything but themselves. And then they realized, why don't people like me anymore? It doesn't make any sense why people don't like me. And it's like, dude, it's because you forgot who you were. You're not a human anymore.
Along the way, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I talk to Sam every single day, because he wouldn't let that happen to me. I wouldn't let it happen to him.
I can't let it happen. No, like the best way to succeed is for me to be better. And that way I can help.
But someone gives you $10 million and maybe you have a silly idea. I'm like, Sam, maybe you should think about this for the day or something, like just as a good friend, rather than you're like, oh, I'm going to start this other company right away. And I'm like, whoa, like having a good friend is just having another open-minded ear. I want nothing for Sam but glory. Nothing happens to me if Sam fails. Nothing would change in my life. Why the fuck would I want Sam to fail?
No, plus, if you think about, like, say, Tangent and GRC and myself, like, I personally would rather just have my friends be super successful. Like, I would rather hang out with super successful people. That means I want you guys to be successful.
You're not afraid of the image that they'll have on you. Everyone's afraid to have super successful friends. This is why all my friends hate me. Not because I'm super successful, because I want to be, and I'm willing to. I'm willing to, and they all know it. I wear it all over my face. I'm willing to go all at it, and it scares people because they're like, oh, maybe I don't Maybe I'm not attacking something in my own life, but I promise you, it's not everyone's job to do that either. You don't have to be the biggest fucking go-getter in the room. I'm just a fucking jacked up little nugget.
What were you going to say, Tangent?
There's a terrible saying that is something along the lines of success is never as sweet as when it's in paired with a failure of a friend or something like that. It's like there's something like that, which is like a societal commentary that people, you know, and I think humans are a bit like that at times, where it's like if you do well, like maybe like at a high school level or something, if you do well and one of your friends does badly, I don't know. It's in the same competition.
Tangent, have you noticed over the years that, like, so when I was younger, I might have gotten more jealous or envious when I would see other people's success, but now it's like inspirational, and I like just want to talk to those people. It's like, how can I see Tangent? He's like, go ahead.
Do you know who flipped that for me? And this was years and years and years ago. A friend of mine in real life, we went to high school together. He was always asking questions to people who were like successful and reasonably successful. And at the time I thought maybe he was like being a little bit too nosy and a bit too competitive. Like, 'cause it sounded to me like he was asking people how successful they were or how successful they perceived other people to be, so that he could kind of like gauge where he was at, right, in comparison. But I found out later that he was just super inspired by other people who were successful and just wanted to find out about it, talk about it, you know, and so in his mind, he was just mentally congratulating them. And when he explained all that to me, because we had a chat about it, I was like, that is the correct attitude. Because the people who I see who like hate on Elon Musk and shit like that, they're doing absolutely fuck all with their lives. They're doing absolutely nothing. And they shit on Elon Musk, being like, he's not that great. His car company relies on green credits and and it's just like, bro, what the fuck have you done? Like, have you gone launching rockets that land themselves? Shut the fuck up. One night I heard this guy was like, oh, well, he hires like all these engineers and they're the ones that actually do the calculations for the rockets. I'm like, bro, that's called owning a. Dude, I would have put. It's called a company where you hire people and leverage.
Dude, if I was
their skills and time, you dumbass.
Fucking totally jacked that dude right across his face. Dude, there was people in my gym talking. I always tell this story. There's people in my gym talking in the corner about how there's only 2 real cryptocurrencies and like there's nothing else. Like they had no idea what they were talking about, but they were like telling people as if they knew exactly what they were talking about. So I walked the fuck right over there and I said, these 2 fucking fools, and I knew they worked in finance. And no, literally, I was just benching on the other side of the thing. And I said, these 2 fucking fools are going to sit here and act like they know something. They know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about, and their profession is a joke. And I literally said that because what they were saying was so ignorant. It was literally so ignorant. Like, it wasn't like a half truth. It was just like as broadly bullshit as you could ever imagine. And if they would have said something half true, I wouldn't have come over. I'm going to call out the super chat real quick.
Davis.
Real quick, there's people talking in the comments. A lot of self-help love in the comments. My God, I can't even read these fast enough. I'm going to go up to Kyler's too because his was very interesting. Had a bad childhood, was hooked on Oxycontin over 700. Jesus, Lord have mercy. 700 milligrams per day from 2011. And guess what? They were giving that to you because back then they were fucking letting those go 90 a fucking month. Been clean since November 2011. Now I'm 33. I own 7 semi-trucks, also have a massive stake in pulsex. Dude, you are absolutely 100% crushing the game. And like what we're all talking about, it's about having perspective. The only thing that Tangent learned about those people when they were talking is that they were retarded. Like, that's the only thing. Like, he wasn't sitting there like, let me hear your point. He was just like, oh, I realize you know nothing about life.
It's like they're allergic to success, man. Like, the shit talking on someone who's clearly succeeded at shit. You know, you don't get to be the richest man in the world without like doing some shit.
It's like when people tell me to put my shirt on. It's like when people tell me to put my shirt on in a picture and my name is Jim Rat. I'm like, why? I'm like,
Says it on the tin, bro.
Jim
Says it
Rat.
on the tin.
Okay, so real quick,
There's so many people that are broken like that way, though, right? How do we wake up more?
they watch the show.
people?
It's going to be the biggest show in the history of crypto and self-help, dude. Ever. Literally
Through
ever.
this show.
No,
Through the
yeah,
show.
that's what I'm saying. This is my only. I tried to do it on feet. It doesn't work, Sam. It
It's way
doesn't.
easier.
It doesn't
on
work.
here.
I just need to talk. I have spent my whole life dedicated to self-help and learning for the best that I can. I didn't really know that until like in hindsight, really, but like that's just been my life and how it's kind of gone. But anyway, Kyler Kaufman, yes, sir. When I sacrificed everything and became homeless a couple years ago, people said I was crazy, but it was what I had to do. My career is going now. Pretty sure he's an actor in Hollywood. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about you, Kyler, but all your comments in here, your spirit, your vibes, top tier. And I hope you're fucking crushing it. It sounds like you do. Everyone says it sounds like you're a actor of some sort. I'd love to see some of your work.
That's dope.
And guys, real quick, last thing I'm going to say before I let these guys go down a little longer. I just did the first 10 people to send me a picture on this tweet. Listen, I know it's a hard sell. I'm not trying to really sell everyone. I'm not trying to sell everyone on sending me a shirtless picture. I want people to do this that actually want to change their bodies. So you don't have to do it. But send me the best picture to this Twitter tweet. Post it. The first 10 people join the Telegram that I'm attached to it, and we're going to help you work on it as we go.
Do you want to do a separate group for that Telegram?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's
We're going to do
and we can make it private, and just the people who do this.
So just the first 10 people that post a picture on that thread. So the first 10 people that post a picture on that thread, we will give you access to us on a text basis. And as we go through our daily fitness regimens, we will give you any tips. To us, it's just like the back of our hand. So it's not sweat off our back, just saying what's up and telling people what's good. It's very easy for people that have been in the gym for 10 years to figure out what other people are doing wrong, because generally it's everything. So you can well, no, generally it's everything. Literally, someone will tell me their workout routine, and I'm just like, it's great. It'll keep you calories burned, but like as far as progress, but again, a lot of people don't want progress. People want to look lean long term, and that's fine too.
Speaking of tweets, did we ever go and grab that tweet that we were meant to read or look at?
Oh, let me see if I can find that right now.
From the super chat.
Bob the guy. Did he say it was pinned on his thing?
It's pinned. It's just pinned.
Okay, hold on. I'll share it right now. Good reminder.
I need to double my Adderall dose. You hear that, Doc?
Okay, I just shared it.
I'm kidding. By the way, Mom and Dad, I'm not taking any Adderall.
Yo, the photos so far on your thread have been jokes.
Dude, I just posted it, bro.
There's two already.
Don't come at my thread until it's absolutely ready. You're coming at my thread way too early, brother. Oh, this thread?
No, this is Bob. Let's read through Bob's question.
Let's take a look at this one. Let's look at this one. Right.
Okay, this is what I mentioned in the Wake Up Hex chat. If you care to check it out, and comments are on. Paste into the incognito bed. Okay, so maybe he wants us.
Yep. Yeah, click on that. It's a Google.
Can you guys see this?
God, I love Bob.
Okay, this is a lot to read. So
do you want to look into it, or do you want to do it tomorrow after we look into it?
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Bob's a crackhead, so he knows way too much about security.
Oh yeah, shit. I think this is gonna be something we're gonna have to look at.
Yeah, let's. Bob thinks like we're just gonna scan, like quick scan, and then we'll be able to chat on that. Like
I thought it was a tweet, not an entire doc. Like,
hey, but listen, Bob, if you put enough effort into writing that pinned tweet, I will put enough effort to read every single word of it, and I will make sure that I bring it up on this show tomorrow, because I'm sure whatever's in that, nobody will fucking read except like 2 or 3 of my friends. Sam,
yes. Hexdeck16 also said took the 4 photos on Monday, not posting online till results kick in. But he's been messaging me a couple times about making progress. I think he's down 20 pounds or something like that. So dope, awesome.
Tangent. I want you to post that picture from yesterday, Abe. That you looked great. Your body looks really good. Let's fucking take it to the next level, bro.
Tangent on a crypto related direction. This is 100% selfish for me. Do you think it is relatively, what are your thoughts on being able to earn say 20 to 40% from yield farming, or is there another way to earn a 20 to 40% yield on money?
Did I tell you about that website CoinDix?
CoinDix.
So it's COINDIX.io, I believe. Oh, actually, maybe it's .com. One sec. Let me just find it. Yeah, it's coindix.com. So COINDIX.com.
Okay.
And so, and then basically you can go to, that is basically a site that basically gives you all the different things that you can try and yield farm. And you can filter them by what chain, you can rank them by the APY, like you can go for ones which are stable coins and stable coin pairs so that you don't have those risks, or like you mitigate the risk of impermanent loss, things like that. And you can basically go through there. And the only warning is some of the APYs look super, super high on things which are brand new. If it's a new, so if the incentive has only just started and not a lot of people have hopped onto it and brought the APY down, the APYs can look insane, but they're going to drop quickly over the next sort of couple of days. So other than that, it's and then keeping in mind that these APYs fluctuate from day to day. So, well, some do, some don't. Most do.
So if somebody was like, "Hey, I want to build out a portfolio of this to create $500 a month or $600 a month or whatever amount they want to generate to live on," just hypothetically, right? Would you do something where you're putting some into something that's maybe like a lower end in terms of returns, earning 8, 10, 12%, so 50% of them? Like, these are hypotheticals, obviously, but I'm curious.
I would only deliberately chase lower yield if there was some other perceived benefit, like it being that there's a decreased risk stack or some lower risk in some part of the stack, or that it's something that you're more comfortable with in terms of like the protocol or the chain that it's on. Otherwise, you would just, if all things being equal, you would just chase the highest yield. Do
you do that with your whole bag?
And the variability of that yield might be another factor. Like you want something which you think is going to be where the yield percentage is going to stay consistent, whereas other things might fluctuate around. The other thing is that I'll mention is there are some tokens that you can buy that claim that they basically do this sort of shit behind the scenes, and whether that actually happens or not.
Oh, very interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, so
is there a coin in every way that kind of does that? Like any real product, is there one that just says that I do it behind the scenes, just invest in us and like eventually?
Yeah, I mean, some of them can prove it, right? I think some of them are transparent enough that you can see what they're actually doing behind the scenes. So I think, YFI is probably the best historical example. That was Andre. It's just YFI. It's the full name is Yearn Finance. And
no, I've seen that's
an Andre Cronje project, which was basically one of the first sort of automated yield aggregating protocols. But I think it's incredibly expensive now. I think a single token might be over $30,000. It was worth more per token than Bitcoin at one point in absolute terms. But you've got to remember that because the supply is so much smaller than the Bitcoin supply, its market cap didn't exceed that of Bitcoin's, but its per unit price did. And so it'll make your head spin when you look at all the different options that you've got, plus there's new options coming out every single day.
So what if somebody's like, hey, so there's for 100%.
I love a meme of us saying, check it out. Someone made a meme from us this morning. Let's check it out. I can't hear it, so tell me if it's funny. I love checking out dudes' bodies. Can't lie to anyone. I love checking out dudes. What did it say? I couldn't hear it. But
it was I love checking out dudes' bodies, and then it's just got
like two guys.
It's got like a whistling sound in the background, like.
I always say that too. I'm like, I love checking out dudes' bodies because every time I see a dude's body with his shirt off, I'm like, dude, progress, we got it. Or like, I'm like, dude, we gotta lean you out a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? I can only think about like next level, like, but you know, that changed my life so dramatically. Like when I took my body to the next level, the way I interacted with the world and the way people interacted with me changed so much that it's almost like I love to be any kind of. I also took steroids.
You mean on a technical level? Like you mean like you love checking out dudes' bodies on a technical level?
Level. Yeah, like keep your trousers on, please.
Yeah. So when I'm just trying to stay focused. I'm not going to even comment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good, dude.
So your aim is to you want sort of like a reasonably reliable yield, or you're just doing it sort of like as a thought experiment.
I am going to refinance this house. It's gone up tremendously value. I'm going to take the majority of that and put it into hex stakes. But the increase in my monthly mortgage is going to be about $550. So if I peel off 10 or 20, can I generate $500 to $600 of cash flow from that through yields, so that pays my $500 or $600 additional mortgage increase, and I don't have to pay it at all? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want something reliable that doesn't need to produce huge amounts of dollars, I guess maybe the looking through those stablecoin ones is probably not is probably not an insane idea, because obviously everything else is heavily dependent on so if you're getting paid out in an incentive token that is crashing because the crypto market's crashing, then your whole plan gets effed as soon as if we're in a bear market and it continues, or we go into a bear market, then your whole plan just gets like completely slammed. So
what are these CoinDix ones? Is this single sided, or are these like
they've
protocols?
got everything. They've got single staking pools. They've got ones where you're doing like dual, like where you're putting in for LPs and stuff like that. Literally everything.
So say if I was like, okay, I'm going to take 100 grand, I'm going to put 80 into hex, I'm going to take 20, and I'm going to use that to generate yield to pay my $550 of increase in mortgage, right? So I take that 20 grand, I take 4 months worth. So say I take $2,000, I put that into account to automatically pay. So now I have $18,000 left. So splitting that up into say stables where you might earn say 10% or something like that. Or is there like, can you do stables where you're earning like more than that? And then you said they give different change. So I see something here. It says USDT Anchor Terra. So does that mean it's a?
So if you look up, so like in the top left, see how it says top stable coins?
Hold on, I'll share this so everybody can see it.
And then so because it says today's best vaults on the DeFi or whatever, and then up in the top corner it says top stable coins. If you actually just click where it says top stable coins,
can you? I should just share this.
I might have to do the first 20 pictures for the Telegram group because they're coming in too hot. So
okay.
I might do 20 pictures on the Telegram, guys. Sorry, that was a little bit too restricting. I didn't realize the explosivity. Go on.
Did they come through that?
GRC, share this screen here. But yeah, we got 20, dude. We could leave it open. I mean, we're happy to help people. Maybe like once a week we can do.
If Sam will actually help me, and then because I didn't realize people are jacked up about fitness in this community, and I really didn't expect
this guy's already ripped.
Yeah, he does the FN hangout. I mean, he does the Discord Syndicate fitness thing at 10 o'clock on Saturdays. I think that's tonight. We could probably go on there tonight and talk fitness with him on Discord Syndicate. Sam Stolt.
Okay, cool. I'm down. I'm later tonight.
Go on. This is perfect, amazing content, by the way, guys. And if anyone has any problems with it in the comments, they can lick between. Ooh, I'm not allowed to say that shit. My family watches this shit. I cannot talk like that. Go on, guys.
So just click on literally where it says top stable coins. Like actually click on that word. Like
top stable coins. Okay.
So top left. This
one right here.
Yep.
says top stable coins. Okay.
Yep.
And that's these
And
here.
then, and so see that top one there, it's saying you can get 106%.
Yep.
By putting USDC into a freaking
it says waves,
some kind of vault on waves.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty huge for stablecoin yield, 100%.
And then even this here is USDT 106% into also something with.
This is massive. I mean, massive compared to legacy, obviously. Compared to crypto gains, 100% in a year is like boring. But then you can just basically.
I love it. I love it when Tangent's like, I got off like a month ago, and you were like, "Yeah, if you're going to 40% of the year, I mean, like that's just like sleeping or like something like."
Guarantee you 40% a year with no problems at all. Like, yeah, if you're loaded, that's lit. But if you're not if you're not like have the exact life that you want and all your dreams are coming true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Tangent probably has big hopes and dreams. I mean,
if you're trying to just protect your shit against inflation, then 40% is awesome because you're
exactly
at least
some people are
it.
mega rich too.
So wealth maintenance is fine at 40%, but if you're trying to generate wealth and if you're trying to get on Richard's level, if you're trying to debate Richard Hart. Oh, didn't I tell you that's part of the deal with this debate against Richard Hart? If I win, I get his net wealth.
His net wealth is all
no. I'm joking.
Wealth is all wrapped up in paper.
I'm joking because that would mean that if he wins, he gets my net wealth, and I'm not willing to give my net wealth away because I know I'm probably going to lose.
You can live with me for free if you lose all your net wealth.
Thank you.
If you lose all your net wealth for any reason, you can live with me for free.
Thank you. It still wouldn't be worth the risk though, because the odds of me losing, I know I will lose this debate. That's not the point.
What if you get paralyzed real bad and you like call me and you're like, I got to move in with you. Like I lost everything. And I'm like, dude, you're paralyzed. I'm not fucking taking care of your ass. Like,
do you mean like mentally paralyzed after I get wrecked by Richard Hart on screen? Like, is that what you mean?
What I'm like go into like a retard.
Like my digital life, my digital life is like.
What if he's so ahead of us that through his conversations, he like implants a message in your mind and it like destroys you from the inside out? What if that's what he talks about in the green rooms with his alpha? He's like, how do we brain control everyone? You never know though. Like I always
man, like as if he's an actual god. He's an actual god that just wrecks people before the stream even starts.
Well, what if all the richest people in the world are gods and like a couple of the like on ground richest people are like their first hand mans and they're just like, hey guys, like this is what we're doing today. We're gonna tell everyone about COVID-19. Like anyway, guys, about all this coding, noting, mining. I don't know exactly what y'all are talking about, to be honest, but I've been talking a lot about HNT node mining, the Bluetooth, the pineapples, the people making a little bit of residual income off of just installing those things at their residence that produce HNT coin. Something I'm curious about, not the Hexagon favorite as far as conversation, but something I cannot stop thinking about personally for some reason, just because I want to know what are people doing? Like, where are these people that are making nodes, putting them on their houses? Like, I've never met one.
Did I tell you what I like about that project is whether people like it or not in terms of the actual coin is they are incentivizing the creation of mesh networks. So
what does that mean?
As in they are basically using that as an incentive token for people to run those units that eventually, if enough people had them, then we would have a mesh network and we could like
everything would be connected.
If anyone trying to shut the internet down for any reason, we would be like, guess what? And then,
what?
Oh shit! You're creating the internet web.
Tangent, talk about like what Tangent's talking about is literally this is the incentive where here in the United States we have like ISPs as well as like telecom, right? So we have Verizon, AT&T. I don't know if those are names familiar out there, right? But we also have things like Comcast and Spectrum, and these are the ones that run into the house, and the other ones are going to be with your cell phone. HNT could get rid of all those globally.
Yeah, all that nonsense.
Already?
So no more censorship at the government level, at the ISP level, none of that nonsense. Because
Oh my
and you just share data. So like the infrastructure cost is just each individual, you're sending data to people and receiving it. It's like a peer-to-peer network, but on the hardware level. So once you've got that for internet and power, then there is no more censorship in terms of censorship
Wendy's has
of data.
entered the fitness Telegram contest. Wendy's for Tendies has posted a picture. He's joining. He's committed. He wants to be rock solid. He always mentions it. He's like, dude, I want to get back to it. Like, you know, he's going through that heavy business. Anyway, I'm going to let you go on. Sorry when people are – I am trying to keep people a little updated on this because I am going to be working on this today.
I thought Wendy's was anonymous though, like in terms of
no, he's not at all. He doesn't like being on camera all day long, showing his face. But like
okay,
he pops on every once in a while and just chills.
Okay, cool.
I'm seeing the pictures come in right now on the feed. That's dope. Yeah, this will be fun.
Richard, if you're watching, Richard, this is I know that's the fucking last thing you think. Anyone want to talk about your weight or whatever? I know you don't give a fuck. I know you're rich as fuck. I know your dick's big as fuck. But I'm telling you, bro. Excess body fat will kill you long term. And it's not, dude, I could give a fuck if you were fat. Who gives a fuck if someone's fat? Really, at the end of the day, you look better when you're not fat. But besides that, your arteries will not clog. And I'm sure hopefully he's not one of those guys that's scared to go to the doctor. And he might be, he might not be. He might be very proactive. But I'm telling you guys, heart health is 100% preventable. If you look at it, if you change your diet, if you're active, you can change everything. And doctors can tell you very quickly if there is a major issue. And if you get coronary artery calcium,
isn't there some special type of fat that forms around your fucking organs or something? Like,
well, it's not special. It's the type of fat that
visceral. Fat,
that's it. Visceral fat. Is that the deal? Is that the dangerous shit?
Well, you know those guys that are ripped, but their stomachs have a bit of a kind of callus fat, kind of like their arms and chest are still kind of ripped. You ever met those guys? They drink too much beer, kind of like their belly's big, but they're not necessarily like fat. That visceral scar tissue fat on your organs, everything right there from the liver. And this is more just from what I've noticed over the years, not like any technical terminology, but people that drink and really don't take care of their micronutrients get this hard shell of a stomach. And it's not muscle. It's literally scar tissue and fat around your organs. Man. So guys, I'm telling you, and I've seen those videos. Did you see the Richard Hart deadlifting, Sam?
I did.
He's pretty explosive.
Yeah, they was putting in the work, it looked like. That was good.
So good. Yeah. So just remember, guys, all the workout stuff aside with the lifting the weights and the muscles, it's not as important as your cardiovascular health. I'm sorry. If you're gonna just like bottom line it and you're just like, that's not a part of my life, please fucking do cardio every day. Please.
And you don't have when you say cardio, it doesn't
45 minutes fast walking.
But you don't have to run. You don't have to do anything. You don't want just do something that's active. You can clean your house for 45 minutes. You can go fucking rake leaves. It doesn't matter what it is. Just do something active on a regular basis, multiple times a week, because it's so important for your health, like your cardiovascular health, and your heart, all of that.
And I'm sorry if I'm scaring people and they want to turn off the shit because I know that's something people don't like to think about. But guess what, baby? I'm on every day. So,
so this is check out. Remember how when we were looking at we were looking at Hex, and we were looking at the number of new stakes over the last 3 weeks. There was around 10,000 new stakes over the last 3 weeks. Look at this. So it's hard.
Holy shit!
Yeah, right. Astonishing, dude. 81,000 for anybody who's watching. 81,000 new nodes are added in the last 30 days to HNT. This is the biggest network in the world right now in terms of nodes.
Fucking shit. I remember Ian Bellina talking about this when it was like very, very, very new. And I was keen, but I just knew, I was like, this is cool in terms of, but let me just go back to what I was saying before. Because this token gets handed out to everyone that runs a node, price performance is likely to be shit. But so I wouldn't look at it as a thing to invest in. But I mean, damn, Can you go and show me Australia? Can you show me Australia to see if people have been firing up?
Yeah. Of course. Let's go. Where is Australia?
Because that's I'm just being slack.
Last thing,
Oh my god! There's people in Perth now that have got it. Holy shit!
I don't know where Perth is or whatever, but like Sydney is down here, right?
West Coast. The very furthest.
That's over here. Okay.
That's where the supercars are down in Perth.
Other side of the other side.
West Coast.
Yeah.
All the way to the west.
All the way to the other side. So look at that.
Right, where they're even up there in the middle of nowhere.
No. Where that hotspot is, that's it.
Is that's Perth?
That's got to be bullshit.
No, it's
not.
Dude, no. You can zoom in all the way to the specific node.
That has to be bullshit.
No, you can zoom in all the way to the specific node. You can zoom in all the way.
You can. I can go into this specific spot in this neighborhood and tells you click on this one.
If there are more than like 5 people running a node in Perth, I'll be shocked. That has got to be bullshit.
Stale burlap box, and you can click on this person, and then it tells you they synced up 3 weeks ago. I think it said.
Holy fucking what?
It's growing so quick. It's growing so quick,
dude. Sam, can I move in with you like this week?
Dude, yeah.
Dude, if I dive down there with all my shields and my computer, can I fucking just bring from your house?
There aren't this many people in Perth that even know about crypto. What the fuck is going on?
Remember when we were looking at the very, very macro view, I don't know if I can get back to it, 81,000 new nodes. Hex over the last 21 days added 10,000 in a 21-day period versus 81,000 in a 30-day period.
Well,
this is
is it still right? Have you guys looked into? Did you say you could run one of these things on like a Raspberry Pi or some shit, or did you say
Pineapple? You can have these little things, and you just put them. You need
a Raspberry Pi.
No, Pineapple something.
Does it still?
No, there's another thing. It's a separate thing that you can run a little Bluetooth like node off of.
Back when Shalina used to talk about these things, it was custom only. Like you had to buy it from them. Like, sorry, you didn't have to, but
that's good.
But it was somewhat open source. You could kind of like run your own or some shit like that, but no one did. Like, as in, everyone was just buying them off the.
Man,
and they were sold out.
They still are sold out. There's a company that I get their emails from, waiting for them to come out with the miner because different companies have them. I
applaud their shit.
You can run it out of your apartment. Okay, so
we're gonna fuck up the telcos, the ISPs, and the government.
World.
Yes.
The triple threat. The
triple threat. So
taking them down. Fuck it.
This is perfect. Tomorrow, I have a buddy that is supposed to come on 3 p.m. EST, and he does this, and he has it at multiple different locations, and he's been mining HNT, and he told me, I haven't checked my phone, so tomorrow, which is Sunday, 3 p.m. EST, he's supposed to be coming on, and I'm going to dive into like him and like understand what he's doing, how it all works, how much he's earning, all of the details around that. So if you guys want to like catch that when that comes out,
Can I mediate that conversation so that I can pull the chat up and shit? Since we're fucking best friends and partners, and I want nothing else other than to make your life easier and more successful, and myself more successful too. Because when I'm with Sam, my success grows 2x, his success grows 2x. When you add people to the bunch that have other skills, I've done things my whole life Sam has never done. Sam had a different schooling experience than me. I went through every social nuance as a youngster that you could possibly go through. Like as far as sex, drugs, everything. And that's as far as what I learned from Sam. His child life was not similar to that. So our perspectives are different.
Yo, can I retract something that I said before? You know how I was like, as an investment, pretty shit, because they're just handing out this token to everyone running those hotspots. With network coverage this extensive, people will actually start being users because it'll actually be practical to use the shit, and then they'll need the HNT token to actually pay for their traffic. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while.
I believe that's accurate.
So that means there actually now is a supply-demand dynamic. And I mean, I would use this shit because also it's anonymous as well, right? Like as in you just
I believe so, yeah. The chart looks.
They wouldn't be doing it in Perth.
The chart here looks on. This is for H&T. Looks. I mean, it looks pretty similar in some ways to like how Hex looks in my mind, right?
Well, let's look at this chart for a second. I want to ask a couple questions about this chart real quick.
Yeah, sure.
When did we start here?
Looks like April 2020. It looks like it was. It looks. I think if I'm reading that right, April 2020.
I think it was actually earlier than that. That chart might not be the full history.
Yeah, this.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
So
it was definitely It was definitely early. It was definitely earlier than that. I remember.
Right, because this project I learned about it way before that.
It was a previous cycle.
Wow.
So it would have been like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we're good. Let's talk about it. 5 years. It's been the chart looks absolutely bullish. Absolutely long-term health, extreme health. I mean, look at this chart. It looks just similar. Very similar. Obviously, there's differences in the tokenomics 100%. Like you can't even compare them like directly, but they're both going up and to the right. I mean, that's fair. And
I'm glad you guys reminded me about this fucking shit
because this is what we're doing on the show that's a little bit different, guys. I know I'm ruffling feathers all over the place, but I love it. Anyway, it's just there's things going on in crypto that Richard can't talk about because Richard, that's not his job to talk about everything in fucking crypto, is it?
He says he doesn't talk about his other tickers other than his own.
Well,
tickers.
But that's fair, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
That's so fair.
I was just agreeing with you. Like,
and I think that's so fair to me. If he were to like think that it was odd for us to be doing this on stream, I would think he was odd personally, because I mean he knows how much
this has a good mission statement. It's fucking censorship resistant,
and this is separate from everything RH does. Really,
do you guys want to know how fucking powerful I feel when I think about the fact that I cannot be turned off financially anymore? Like,
please,
no one can turn me the fuck off financially. Imagine if you had that coupled with financially, internet, and power. You're a god. Like you're not held to
dude. This is why Richard's making the fucking civilization, because we're gonna have to fucking put ourselves in a situation where we could probably
but we can all switch from the ISPs and where we get our internet to H&T at some point potentially if this is successful, and we use that internet, which is going to allow us to actually build that where we don't get the censorship, right? Did you know ISPs, which are like internet service providers here in the United States, definitely in Australia, they've probably been doing this for a decade over there, track your shit and can see certain traffic and use that shit against you.
They brought in laws here that the ISPs have to keep your shit on record. I think it's 5 or 7 years. So the day they brought in that law, that was when I immediately bought a VPN. I was like, fuck that noise. Like,
I've never had a VPN. I'm gonna say it on this.
Bro, get a fucking VPN immediately.
What can talk to me about
end the stream,
and that's it, and just like fucking
end the stream. Go and get Proton VPN immediately.
I paid for it. I just haven't done it yet.
What do you?
Tangent,
can you talk to us?
Tell me why.
Yeah, please.
And okay, for everyone in the comments first, if you think I'm stupid, literally, I will fucking find you and hurt you. Because you have no idea. Your perspective is so off to think that someone who did not have a computer until 2020, should know anything about a VPN. I'm on here because I want to learn. I'm not afraid to ask stupid fucking questions. I don't know what a fucking VPN is. I know what it does. I understand that it makes your IP address at a different area.
It's not. It's
Why
nothing
should I
to
give a fuck? Is what I'm asking.
It's definitely nothing. Like, as in, it's definitely common that people do not realize how important a VPN is.
And that's why we're talking about.
That's common. It's not unless you're sort of privacy curious or privacy focused or like in the crypto space in general.
Now I have to do an episode on VPNs, people.
People in crypto are typically more aware of privacy concerns, so we're dealing with a group of people, our viewers, us, and the people that we deal with on crypto Twitter and just crypto in general are just at a generally higher standard of these sorts of issues, computer literacy and computer security, like operational security. But it's very common that people don't understand how important it is. And all it does, I mean, look, some people say that with VPNs, all you're doing is shifting the trust, right? Like, as in the VPN, the company theoretically could still spy on and log what the fuck you do.
But I heard that it lags. I heard there's lags in the server anyway. So if somebody really wants to find your shit, that it'll pop in and out.
What I like about it is even if theoretically, like obviously you choose that company carefully. That's why I think Proton VPN is quite a good option. They've got high speeds and they appear to be very privacy focused. And
you use that yourself?
And I no comment, but
well, you know what I mean. Like,
but
if
well,
I
see, I've got specific considerations over here being in Australia.
True.
For speeds over here is a factor for different VPN companies. But if you're in America, Proton VPN is definitely so, because I follow those two guys, Tech Law and New Oil, and they have done reviews. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna hit you with another resource. So CoinDix was the first fucking value add that I've done to this stream in terms of websites. Hit this resource. It's privacytools.io, I think.
I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
I'm loading it as well just to make sure that's correct.
All my stuff's liquidated. Nope, I'm just kidding. All right. Remember how easy scams?
And it's gone.
Someone and be like, "Hey, let's spread this link around," and then I would click on anything Tangent sent me. Anything. I probably would.
Do you know what? Ivan on Tech used to. People used to send him shit, and he would just open it up on stream. And one time, someone sent him a picture of like, I think it was like two dogs fucking or like some shit like that. And he just opened it up and he was like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, that guy just ruined it for everyone. I'm never opening up anything that anyone sends ever again on stream. And then after that, he just never did it ever again. So I think it's like, it's one of those things, yo. But it was funny while it lasted.
18 pictures so far.
So this website here is by a group of privacy advocates, including those guys that I just mentioned. They're involved in it, and this is an incredible resource. And so somewhere on here will be VPNs. Under privacy. So under privacy service tools, it's the first one, VPN provider, 2 to the left. Yep, that's it. So if you click on that, and see how
this tab? Okay, yeah.
So those are the ones.
These are the different ones that they're recommending.
Proton's
right here.
So basically, yeah. So these are the 3 they recommend the most, and then underneath it, see it says a complete guide. That's the one where they'll have rated all of them and have all the like check boxes of what ones have what and shit like that.
Can you tell what's the value of that? Why is
what happens if I don't use this? What can happen
hold
to
on.
me if I don't use this?
So first of all, I was just going to say, if I was in America, I would definitely use Proton. Would be the one that I was using. Then Sam, what was your question? What's the value prop?
Yeah, why like what would be the value of getting a VPN?
Oh, and that's the same question really that Jim was asking in terms of like what happens if you don't. So if you don't use one, it means that your ISP has all the data of exactly what you do. And so especially if you do something like crypto and you want to have like a reasonable amount of privacy about your shit and what you're doing in crypto, possibly not necessarily doing anything illegal. You just want your privacy because it's a human right.
But I mean, at what point is privacy not possible anymore?
So if you're not using a VPN, it means the government can just subpoena your ISP and say, I want the logs of everything that this person's done, or they could just they actually don't even need to be specific. They can do blanket requests where they're just like, they don't even have to say, I want all the shit that you've.
What are they going to look for? I mean, okay, let's say I'm doing
whatever they want.
Nothing crazy illegal, but just I have lots of money. I'm buying, let's say I have lots of money in crypto and I'm just being legal, but like, you know.
Yeah, so this is the classic privacy query. It's like, oh, well, why do I need to care about privacy if I don't have anything to hide? You're taking a preemptive step, like a preventative measure that I'll give you an example. you don't know how they are going to change the laws in the future. So let's use Canada as an example, where suddenly people buying like fuel and sandwiches were having their bank accounts frozen. So you don't know what kind of crazy shit what kind of ridiculous rules will be imposed. And this is not fantasy anymore. We've seen recent examples where like ridiculous shit has happened. So I don't want a data set of everything that I've ever done that can be ridiculously and retroactively punished when they decide to change the rules and be like, oh no, now it's illegal to look at cat videos. And then they're like, you know what?
VPN change?
Yeah. So with a VPN, it means that everything you do gets encrypted, like tunneled in an encrypted connection to the VPN provider, and they are the ones that then basically interact with the internet on your behalf. So each time, so whenever you, so it's like there's an encrypted tunnel. Then they go and do the shit for you on the not really, but you get what I'm saying. And then they just send the data back through the tunnel. That's why it runs a little bit slower than not using one, because it has to have that extra step. But it's pretty fast, especially if you're picking a VPN server that's not too far away from you geographically.
Since we're saving the world here, we're going to do a full episode on this, guys, coming week. I'm going to make sure I pick a day for it. We're going to do the first hour VPN, why to have it. I'm going to have it downloaded by then probably and be able to
more than that, it protects you in the other direction as well. So say even if you say, I completely trust my government because you're an absolute idiot and you've never picked up a history book in your entire fucking life. And you're like, I implicitly trust the government to have my best interest at heart. Because
you've been asleep for the last 2 years.
I am the dumbest fuck you've ever met. Even then, you should still have one, because
he's a friend, Mom. He's a friend.
Okay,
he's a friend. He didn't mean it to you. He's a friend.
Does she think I'm saying?
Well, she trusts the government
like that.
She trusts the government. So. She certainly trusts the government. Mom, he's just joking. You know how
I apologize. I apologize.
No, you're good. He's messing with you. He's messing.
Yeah, I'm messing.
So basically, say the website that you're going to, they can keep IP logs of who's doing shit at their website. So a VPN also protects you from that website being able to log the fact that you were at their shit, because now you're coming from the IP that belongs to the VPN provider, not yours. And you can switch that, you can change that IP as much as you want. So I can keep changing my IP whenever I want. I can make myself look like I'm from a different country. And so some people use it, like, with Netflix, how each country actually gets slightly different content. So some people use a VPN just so that they can see the content that they would be able to view if they were in a different country using Netflix. So
what's because I think most people, and you probably agree that most people do not use VPNs. So when you talk about, say, the thing with Netflix, right? That I don't have Netflix, right? I don't watch, I even own a television, right? But when you mention things like that, I think that is the things that it's easier for people to grasp from a value standpoint, because you look at the last 2 years, there's a lot of stupid there's a lot of people who kind of do whatever the government tells them to do, kind of thing.
But
what are the cool things like that?
It's probably these are probably like the least beneficial aspects. These are like the really minor benefits. But yeah, if you've ever been on a website and it says, you guys probably don't get this as much, but I get sometimes stuff that says, sorry, when we can't, because of copyright reasons or whatever, we can't show this content in your jurisdiction. And so you can just
do a VPN in another area.
If you've got a VPN, I can just make myself look like I'm in America, and then suddenly I can watch that shit. South Park, Comedy Central is actually an example of this. So if I go to Comedy Central right now and try and watch like South Park episodes, it won't let me because I'm in Australia. But if I change my VPN to say that I'm in America, it'll let me do it.
They don't let people watch South Park in Australia?
Well, not not
They want them. They
not
want
for
you to
free
pay
on that
basically.
on that website.
Oh, I see.
But it's not their fault. It's probably some licensing arrangement that they've made with like some TV station here or some shit that they've got the rights to show that show in Australia. So they're not trying to be assholes. They're just trying to abide by the contracts and laws that they are, that they're under or
So
whatever.
is RH the only man that can make VPNs great again? Does he have to fork? If RH had a VPN service, would you be like researching the shit out of that? Would you be down?
No.
Could that be turned into a blockchain?
This is a bit fuddy. This is a bit fuddy. If you go and look at the review that these guys have done on this website, you'll find that there are VPN providers that are not owned by like multinational companies. They are stationed in countries that have good privacy preserving laws. They're run by teams that give a shit about privacy, etc. They like with NordVPN being an example. I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch for NordVPN, but like
who the fuck cares, bro?
But
Is it lit?
So yeah, this one's like it's a Swiss fucking hosted VPN, and it's legit.
So how does it work? So you just download software and then you're good with the VPN?
You basically download that software onto any device. So it can be mobile, tablet, computer, laptop, whatever the fuck, any internet enabled device. You download the software and then you just turn the shit on, and that's it. And then it routes all your traffic. And then you've even got these things called kill switches where you tell it, like, if the VPN drops out, stop transmitting data, like so that it doesn't leak. Like, because obviously if the VPN stops working and your computer keeps using internet, it'll just be routing it straight through your ISP unshielded.
Oh, interesting. And do you think it's a good idea with phones as well and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I've only started using it on my phone more recently, but yeah, I think so. Same deal, right? Like, as in,
that's where most of the traffic is used anyway. For a lot of people.
Yeah, especially the amount we use our phones these days is probably as important or more important, and also the telcos are just as easily subpoenaed as an ISP.
Damn, this is really good stuff.
Don't panic if you haven't used one, but it's a fairly, in terms of if you look at all the things that you can do to enhance your privacy, and you look at the cost and effort versus the privacy enhancement that you get out of it, a VPN is a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer. The cost and effort are tiny, and the improvement in privacy enhancing and is huge.
Is there one, because you know how you mentioned like they could technically, I think maybe you mentioned, maybe I heard somewhere else, they have your information. They could technically sell that if they wanted to, right? But is there a like VPN that doesn't take any type of KYC that just allows you to pay with crypto? I wonder.
Yeah. So yes. So Nord absolutely allows anonymous sign up payment through crypto and all that sort of stuff, so that there's no so they don't have a direct link to who you are, but you've got to remember they still know your real IP address. So if they wanted to fuck you, they could, but except for the fact that I think with Nord and several others, they claim to not keep any logs. So there's no logs, and then they have audits to prove that they don't keep logs and shit like that. So that you are extending. So my opinion on this, for me personally, is you are extending a small amount of trust to them. However, if you're already not doing anything illegal, which is the category that I'm in, if it turns out that it is some kind of like honeypot run by the American government or something like that, it's like, it's not really that much worse. Plus, you're starting to just add in a degree of like, and I don't think that's the case, by the way. I think that most of these VPNs that are recommended by these guys are legit, but also that you're exercising sort of jurisdictional arbitrage, where now the place that that someone would have to go to and compel to give your data is no longer in the country, whereas your ISP and your telco are in the same country, so it's very easy for your government to just subpoena the shit out of them. Whereas once you put it into a different country, it makes it a little bit harder. You know what I mean?
So this is super interesting because I've thought about doing this kind of thing that I'm about to mention with, like, say, the dark web, and not that I know how to do it yet or anything, but it couldn't be that difficult to figure out. When you think about information, like, that's the gold piece, right?
So when you're on the dark web, VPNs basically become irrelevant because you're using Tor, which is more hardcore. So if you're using the Tor network, then that is like fully encrypted, multi-hop, like onion protocol. Like it's like layers of encryption that it's you can use a VPN and Tor at the same time. I can't remember. I think in the early days it wasn't recommended to do both, but now I think you can. But you can't get on the dark web without using Tor. So you're forced to use the highest, most hardcore, what's it called? Like an anonymizing,
security, privacy,
traffic anonymizing standards when you're on the dark web.
I've been listening to everything you're saying, and by the way, it's amazing. And literally, you guys are saying some stuff that needs to be said on the internet. I'm going to make you stop talking for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we can get back to crypto.
Nope, I don't care what we get back to. I just want to read the comments. This is extremely valuable. This is about as alpha as it gets.
For anyone watching who is interested in this, there's a channel on YouTube. It's so underrated. It's called Tech Law. And so I think it's like TECHLORE. And that guy, so everything I'm saying right now, even though most of it, this shit I did already know, most of the stuff I've learned recently about privacy, I've learned from that guy's channel. He is legendary, and explains everything really well. So, and tries to do it in a way that will appeal to people who are not like tech geek, security obsessed, privacy obsessed. Like you were saying, Sam. He tries to give the case of why regular people should care about it and what the benefits are for regular people who are not like Edward Snowden and shit. So
Tangent, you need to be streaming more often.
Here's the guys. I think
that's all I ever say to Tangent is just like, I'm like, you should stream more often and I think it should be less about like there's more about this shit that you know, dude. You know so much more than you realize. People would die for this information. Literally me. I can already speak for everyone because I'm sitting here like, holy shit, if I knew all this dude knew about VPNs, I'd be way better off.
But I think the more efficient way for me to do it is just to point people in the direction of the people who are like dedicated on that shit. Like this tech law guy.
Yeah, as a general practice, you can do that. But like, I would have never found that dude unless you told me. And then we went down that rabbit hole of fucking talking about VPNs. Think about that. I would have never found that guy, dude.
How did we actually end up starting to talk about? Because we were talking about that helium network.
I want to know because everyone's always on my ass about it, and I don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, now you have a better understanding, right?
I kind of know. I still don't know what's going to happen to me. Like, yeah, they can log my shit. Am I going to go to jail? Maybe if they make a law about it. By then, I'll be putting a shot in my freaking head anyway because they're going to be coming after me for whatever. It's like, at what point it's like me not doing anything except streaming and buying crypto? Are they going to come at me and rip me out of my house? Sounds plausible these days.
But look what they
no,
did.
It sounds plausible. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. It sounds like there's nothing. No VPN is going to do anything about this. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like if this occurs, it's going to be a total rights movement that they're going to it's going to be a war. It's a war. It's clear what side I'm on. I'm on side crypto.
Mark Cavalier 23. The Aussie accent, fucking A.
No,
F and A.
No, he's keen, He's keen.
Love it.
Yo, guys. When Shalina was talking about these hotspot things, I think there was only one manufacturer, which was like the helium team themselves. Now there's like on their website, there is like, I can't even count this. This is a higher number than I can count of people that you can buy these hotspots from.
Bro, think about this next year, how quickly that's going to grow.
Dude, I'm getting this shit. I'm getting it.
You can do it in your apartment.
I'm freaking getting it. I'm getting it, and I'm putting one at every house of every motherfucker that I know. I'm not even giving them the option. I'm just gonna.
I'm like, I don't even care about the tech. I'll put this motherfucker on people's houses. Like,
I'm just gonna go to my friends and be like, I'm putting this in your house. Shut the fuck up. Like, we're saving the world. We're fighting censorship.
You can put them on that. That cuts into your mortgage at every house that you buy. Like maybe $100 or whatever.
It's like adding rent. It's like adding rent.
Yeah,
bro. You'll appreciate.
We become slumlords. We become slumlords, and every house has a helium node.
Listen to me. I used to build antennas on people's buildings for a living. They're paying. Okay, so a normal office building in Baltimore or in DC, let's say, that you wrap Verizon antennas all around, that's $7,000 to $15,000 a month.
Wow.
That's
Shalina
building.
So tangent.
What were you about to say, Sam?
So this, you guys, I think will both find this interesting. There's something, I think it's called breathe token or air token. And literally it's the same idea as HNT, not as cool in terms of like grand vision, but it's a sensor that measures like 18 different air quality things. You just plug it in and it measures the air quality. You get earn air token. And that's all it is. It's just measuring the air quality of things that's completely anonymized. My buddy is doing this and been doing this for a while. And
I want to read for everyone. I'm going to let that conversation keep going. I've been looking through this website in the background. This is a legit ass website.
Fucking hell.
This is a legit ass website. There's email stuff on here. You can do all sorts of privacy shit, dude. This is actually something I've never laid eyes on. And I'm not saying it's not common knowledge to others. I'm saying as far as a place to go where all of this information is right in front of you. I've never seen it.
I'll put it into the comments. Thank you for you guys can give a flex and a like for the
this is madness. This is absolute madness.
What?
The number of legit companies that now create these helium nodes is absolute madness.
Yes. You took us down, GRC.
Yes, hold on. Biceps in chat for Hex Tangent. He looks like he is discovering the next freaking like wheel over there, and I'm enjoying his vibes, guys. Biceps in the chat for Hex. Hey, Hex Tangent. On this show,
the weather one. I don't know if I can get around that because where does the demand for the token come from?
It's I don't know enough about it. I talked to my one buddy who did it and he does it and he earns I think like $10 a month, and it was a very trivial amount to purchase it. But I don't know enough about the project to be able to answer that.
Shield Masters just sent me
but
that.
See how nice.
Six out.
Hell yeah.
So see how with the helium one, right? They're dishing the tokens out to people that are running the nodes, but then there's also demand when people want to use data. But with the weather shit, no one's paying for weather. No one's paying for weather data because you can get that shit for free. And no one's trying to censor weather data. So
no, I agree. It's definitely not the grandiose vision of HNT. I am 100% more bullish on HNT than I am on air. But when you think about just doing something for creating additional, cash per month it's again using 5 watts or less of power. So the amount that you spend per month is like 50 cents or 75 cents, and you're earning, $10 a month or something like that. It's like, okay, it's just so trivial to do, but again, not this cool, awesome, like let's disrupt global ISPs. Let's get rid of these Comcast or all these, giant corporations. Think about this. We have ISPs, right? Imagine when you have to call to get your internet fixed. I've had to do this many times we've talked about it on the show over the last month when my internet goes down. Internet service providing customer service sucks balls. Very, very, very
every
well.
Every customer service. No, I
It's
don't want you,
horrible.
don't say just Verizon. Don't say everything. Car insurance, everything, bank,
every
everything.
customer.
Find me good customer service. Find it. Find it and put it in the chat. Tell me where it exists. Tell me where good customer service where I can call a company.
Hey,
to me
I
right
know,
now.
I know. The Hex community, they have very good customer service. I was happy
Holy
with that.
shit, they
I am
do.
Hex customer service, baby.
Holy
we all
shit, they
are.
do.
We all
Right?
are.
Free
We
for
are.
free as well.
Real quick. I'm going to switch the subject just for 1 second. My friend messaged me. I want to say a little something about my shit. I should not be fucking looking at all this shit. God damn it. I forgot about all that shit. I got to pull it up beforehand. But my friend Shield Masters, I have a message from him.
You could always pull it up after, like, pull it up in the background and then share.
But
it.
I want to show people this website real quick. And this is my best friend in the whole wide world, guys. Literally the guy that I met him in 6th grade. He was at a private school and I was at the public school in the area, but he was switching over to the regular school because his private school, he was graduating or whatever. So we went to high school together and became best friends. He started this company called Shield Masters right here. And this is basically just a custom art. He just makes custom art. It had nothing to do with Hex or anything right away. Like obviously it does now, but this is his shit right here. Like he is not a crypto dude. He is a artist. Okay. So let's not get that twisted at all. I want you guys to know about this. He is my best friend in the whole wide world as far as like on the feet. You know what I mean? So
make some dope shields.
He makes dope, guys. Come on. Like he's not playing around here. This is like you can get whatever you want at any point. If you're a rich bastard. Now, if you don't have your hex bags and stakes in there, I suggest you put your money more so into that kind of situation rather than these. These are expensive ass ornamental things. If you're not rich, I would kind of stay away from them. But if you have a streaming setup and you want to take it to the next level, this is a way to do it. He also sells the neon. Like any of these shields, you can buy neon attached to it and put it up on the wall. So like this one's a good example of that with the halo. And he just sent me this picture right here. So this is what he just DM'd me. Pulse Nation, Hex, Pulse Night Shield are still flying off the shelves. Make sure you use promo code GRC50 when purchasing. I didn't even message him about none of this. I didn't know these shields got sold. I just advertised kind of for these shields. Any of the shields that you see in my background, listen to me, guys. Any of the shields that you see in my background, I'm going to pull myself up real quick. Solo layout. So any of the shields you see in the background on there, and even the Captain America shield, and use promo code GRC50, you get $50 off. I want to make this company go to the moon because this is literally my best friend in the world. And like Tangent was saying earlier and everyone else, if you're not getting rich with all your friends, like what the fuck is the point, yo? Like what the hell? I don't want to get rich without my boys. What am I gonna do? I want Sam and me and business and everyone just to be doing our best thing so we can be as productive and leaders in the community. But anyway, all that shit aside, this is my best friend. This is this company. I want it to be a part of the community, right? Like I want his company to be a part of the community. He's not necessarily Hexkin now. He does own Hex. And like I've tried to get him involved, but again, he's just thinking about his shields and shit, so he doesn't really care as much at the moment. But guys, he is the work that he does. If you need something that make a room pop, like fucking custom art all day long, he's gonna have way more stuff coming too. It's just getting started here. He is the first official sponsor of Hex in the Morning. So he's the first official sponsor of Hex in the Morning, and we made that official at some point, and I don't even know what that really means other than we're going to the moon. So that's all I got to say about that. I hope that was a nice little plug right there. That was nice. I really do think this dude's work is next level, and he has all of the equipment in his place to do any work this world could ever provide. He has thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment in his shed, cutting out steel shit. I don't know what it all is, but it's fucking insane. it's like a
you clearly like it enough to like actually spend money and purchase it. So like,
I bought these
if
I bought all these before.
no, correct.
Was
I know.
anything.
But like that if Tangent was telling me about something that he's never done in his life or doesn't own or doesn't utilize, like it's like, okay, cool, thanks, bro. Like that's a good story, but why don't you tell me about something that's actually happened? That's why I was like, I know Tangent has done LPs. Let me talk to Tangent because I know he's been in that rabbit hole deeper than I have about providing liquidity and like the returns on that. I actually have to run. I didn't realize it was almost 1 o'clock because I was enjoying this conversation. Today, like learning that stuff with you, Tangent, and just having a great time on the stream. I was definitely laughing more. Monica just jumped on. She was in the spaces last night. So thanks everybody for stopping in here. Well, I'm actually going to go, and GRC, I'll talk to you a little bit after this, but I'm going to go live with my buddy who's not in crypto at 3 p.m. EST. And I was like, bro, just come on and ask me questions to learn. And hopefully that'll be a good conversation because maybe he'll,
Let me get in there.
Yeah, because I need somebody to do the comments.
I'll just do it more so like not even as like I do this shit. I want to just I want to show you a quick yeah. So we're gonna send some people there. We'll make a couple. I suggest you post it now. Make your thumbnail. Post it to Twitter now, and I'll retweet it. That's the best way to do it if you want people to watch.
Cool. Tangent, brother, I appreciate you coming on, and I acknowledge you taking the time out of your day to share this valuable insights. And I agree with GRC, like whether it's pointing people in those directions or other things, like you've got a lot to offer that like and you can share that with the world and be valuable like to the people around you that you know what I mean are finding that information valuable.
It's not his what he knows, it's his perspective on the world, because people come into a room and they act like they know everything in the room. Tangent knows when he goes into the room, he's just whatever he's learned, and whatever everyone else has learned, they've learned, and he's willing to like inject into conversation with that open-mindedness. And people that will never come on this show are the people that come into a room and act like they know what's going on, because I know you're fucking full of shit. I've been in plenty of rooms. You know what I mean? Like at this point, people act they're smarter than they are, and it's fucking sickening to me.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. And Sam, great to see you as always. Yes. Really appreciate your chats. Awesome.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon, and hopefully we'll see some of you at 3 o'clock.
Hopefully on Monday I'll be driving to Florida to live with you.
We'll talk about that after we get off the show.
Okay. All right, bye. Peace out. So, dude, Tangent, think about this. I'm taking this to the next level real quick. I'm not going to tell everyone my plans, but I was just like brainstorming in my head. I'm moving with Sam. We do videos of each other working out so we can get a little bit more like legit. Because, when you're working out, it's hard to fucking videotape yourself. It's like impossible. What am I going to buy a filmer? So I'm just like, why don't we just live together?
I thought you were joking about.
Nope, I'll fucking pick up and move all this shit to his house, move in. I'm a nomad, brother. We don't play by the rules. We just fucking move it. We just keep it moving. I'm here to succeed, and that's the only purpose I have on this earth, and that is a way for me to do that faster. Because when I started the crypto journey, I just decided I'm taking my time back. So when I quit my job, I realized I'm going to put in so much time now that when I'm 35, maybe I can fucking chill a little bit.
For me personally, I don't know how you guys are, but for me personally, because I talk too effing much, I know that if I actually lived with someone that I really got along with well, I would get nothing done. I would just get literally zero done.
Well, no, but there's nothing Sam does except do things, get things done. If you lived with him, if I move in with him, there's not one moment in his life that changes. I'm telling you, like that's the kind of guy he is. Like,
okay, yeah.
There's nothing that could change him. There's nothing. I've been talking to this dude every day for 6 years. He's doing the fucking not the same things business wise, but just he's like, I wake up this time, I do this.
Yeah. Not the same thing in terms of repetition and not growing, but in terms of like the drive and the habit and the habit forming.
If you expect him somewhere, he's there. If he says he's going somewhere, it's not. I'm trying to find more people that say what they mean and mean what they say. And I can trust them because I'm losing trust in everyone, Tangent, at rapid speeds. Because before I found crypto, I trusted other humans.
And now you know.
I don't trust anyone.
Don't trust. Verify.
I don't know. I don't need to verify shit. Everyone's scamming me.
No,
No, I'm just saying that I could tell if someone's legit right away. I just talk to them, and if they're not pushing their shit and they're being open-minded, it's every time. The second someone comes in the room, starts pushing their shit, closed-minded, I'm the smartest dude in the room, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you're the biggest fucking retard I've ever met. That's about it. Because the open-mindedness is the thing that people, I think when people are online, they want to present themselves in a way that they might not be in real life, you know? And I know that's obvious, but at the same time, it's not obvious in the Hex community. People pretend like it's like, I just want everyone to be as productive as possible. And I want the people that are just being not as authentic to realize if you have enough to offer. Like maybe Hex Tangent in the back of his head's like, I don't have all this creative stuff to offer. And we're like, dude, you have so much shit to offer. Like people don't realize sometimes because of their own self-talk how much they actually have to offer. It's insanity.
Yeah.
Because
people
you wake up in the morning like everyone else.
People assume the shit that they know is just like common knowledge, and that
But when you go down the bodybuilding rabbit hole, you realize that, well, that was the one that I went down. I realized no one knows anything. I was like, oh my God, they've been telling everyone this thing, and it ends up being the other thing, and like, what the fuck? And then I realized that's how it is for everything. That's why when Sam brought up the customer service, I'm like, there is no good customer service. Where does it exist anymore, Tam? Can you find any in your area? I don't know. Maybe. Are there companies, big insurance companies down there that you can call, get a hold of someone, and get your shit dealt with in 10 minutes?
Oh, I think I mentioned to you before, man, that's the one thing that I actually think the Australian government does incredibly well. We've got such hardcore consumer protection shit and like ombudsmans for each industry that if people fuck around, they get their ass handed to them. So like over here, it's almost the opposite. You'd be hard pressed to find an insurance company where they would dick you around on a claim, because you would just go straight to the ombudsman for like insurance or whatever industry that falls under, and they'd get their ass handed to them. Like the consumer protection here is insanely high. They really do protect the little guy, like massively.
It's in here is the opposite. I've had talks with my lawyer about starting a separate business where all I do is have a team of lawyers where we handle traffic accidents, because you have to third party it right away in the United States. Nobody will help you. The insurance companies will actually. So I want people to realize, and I might actually start this business at some point. Like I want people to have a place where they can call when they have a traffic accident, and the person will immediately start covering the insurance for them instead of them having to deal with it. I spent 30 hours in 2 weeks without a car, and I haven't even got my check for my car that got smashed yet. And it's just like, I'm just like, all right, I'll fix it myself then. Like,
that's actually not a bad idea at all, because you know what would end up happening is those insurance companies would learn not to F around with that particular broker, because they'd be like, dude, we know your games. You're going to pay, and you're going to pay now. And here's the shit. Otherwise, it's like they'd just be immediately coming under litigation. Like, and you'd have, you know, like you said, lawyers who know the contracts, know the rights and stuff like that. So then there would be less games being played because they know that they wouldn't get away with it. And then obviously there'd be a small fee or whatever for the person who is using that service, but it's a win-win generally. Yeah, I think that's legit. I mean, in an ideal world, you wouldn't need it. Like in an ideal world, they'd just do the right fucking thing and give you the service that you fucking paid for.
$350 a month I pay for insurance for my car. US dollars a month, and I got
a month.
Yes. And my car, that's most of I'm not paying it right now because I don't have a car or insurance. So the last 2 months or month I haven't paid it. But I've also has DUIs like crazies, like drinking and driving.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you know how much it cost me? I had, that Audi R8 that I had. Mm-hmm. I had that insured, and it was under 1,200 Australian dollars a year.
A year?
I would
expect that to be 1,200 a month.
A year, bro. a
Dude,
year
I would
under. I
rock
think it was
that
like
whip.
11. I think it was like 11 something,
Never
1160 or
crashed the whip?
1180. And Australian, dude, remember Australian dollars are like I'll convert that into America roughly.
Yeah, they smoke you down there. All my friends visit there for university, like over.
It's like 850 bucks a year
No wonder you guys. There's like
to
a
insure
little.
to insure a supercar.
No, I know, I know. I'm literally insuring a Camry, 2019,
That
like the
blows
most
my
affordable car.
I
that you
cannot
could-
believe they make it that expensive.
Well, no, I was in legal trouble my whole life.
And also,
Next year rates go up.
the thing I try to explain to my friends as well, because they were like, "What the shit?" Because admittedly, my insurance for other cars that I've got is not that much less expensive. So, like my BMW M3 is like, it's actually quite similar. I think that's like it's definitely around a grand or over a grand or something like that. So, it was hardly any less expensive for a car that's a lot less valuable. And I think the thing they're factoring in is regardless of what car you drive, you can drive into a Ferrari or into someone's house or like, so they have to factor in that the cost to them when you have a car accident, it doesn't matter how inexpensive your car is if the car that you hit is highly expensive. So do you get what I'm saying?
I'm so poor that I don't even care. It's like, it's just when I say poor, it's kind of just like, that's just not a part of my life that I've really looked into it all yet because I've never had anything but like the most basic car. But now that I realize, because I was asleep when I got my car totaled, like I was asleep, some dude like literally ran into my driveway and ran over my car. And it's been 20 days. They won't give me a check for it. I had to get a lawyer. I've fucking fought tooth and nail, and I hadn't even like.
Wait, has it only been 20 days?
Roughly. I don't know.
Holy it must be longer than that. It seems to me like
I don't drive anymore. I have a car in the driveway now. Like my lawyer fucking smoked them. Now they're giving me 28 G's. They were going to give me 19 G's, dude. I got a lawyer that gave me 28 G's. That's why I'm starting this company, bro. Like they're trying to rip off everyone in the United States, dude, every single day. And what they do is they make the customer service so bad that you give up, dude. You give the fuck up. You're like, I don't care about the $5,000 anymore. Literally, you would do it. You'd be like 10 grand, whatever and you had nothing to do with
it.
So
like tactics, like
specifically. Oh my God. It's like they just want you to suffer, dude. They're just like, call back, leave a message, send this via mail, send this via that, send this. And you're just like, no, like what? You're like, I can't anymore. And now I got the lawyer. And now I'm like, I'm going to start a business where this is going on because fuck this shit. All the lawyers go to school for 12 years and Jim Rat comes in and makes all the money. Who would have thought?
Dude, with ideas this good, first Google it to make sure that no one's already doing it.
Well, even if they were, I could do it private.
But you could still do it like locally or whatever, like in a different area. And then the other thing is like do it. This is how great business ideas start, is identifying something that's fucked and fixing it.
Yeah,
like
and
a
nobody
problem,
wants to
like
admit
a problem,
like a
problem that a lot of people have, that a lot of people are suffering through, but no one is fixing.
Well, it's mainly with Geico and like a few of the major reputable companies. Like, yeah, you can get better insurance, I'm sure. But again, guys like me, they're like, Geico. You're like, okay. Like when you're 21, you're just like, whatever, right? Like you don't know about scamming in car insurance. And that's the thing. 35 years ago, they weren't scamming people on car insurance. They weren't. they just weren't. And then it just gets oversaturated. No customer service. Coronavirus happens, and now they can make any excuse in the book to not answer the phone, and to the point where you got to get a lawyer, talk to him every single day. But yeah, no, I think that's a good business to start. Again, it doesn't matter how much money you have or anything like that. Everyone you just gotta work and take action. Like I could start that business at any point. It's just like, when do I want to put the time into it? You'd
be helping people as well. Like imagine the amount of time and stress you'd be saving people by providing a service like that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? You're actually legitimately. I mean, like I said, it would be better if a business like that wasn't required at all. But we live in a world where sometimes the shit is not. It's not as ethical as it should be. Yo, dude, just to bring it back to this thing again. I know I keep going on about this, but
Yeah.
I think we need to find someone who has done a review of all these different freaking hotspot nodes, because it's just I'm looking at there's too many of them. Man.
I'll get someone on ASAP. I mean, I'm talking like Monday's probably going to be the full on node day, because I'll find the smartest motherfucker in this community with this shit, and he'll come on. The smartest one.
Yeah. Wait, you mean of their community?
Of any community. There's people in our community that do this shit all day long.
But with HNT?
Yes.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
No, I know people. There was somebody on FN Hangout last night that was like, some girl came on. She was 65-year-old black woman. And she's like, yeah, I've been freaking mining this shit all. I was like, Jesus Christ. She was a programmer, and she just knew everything. And she jumped into the FN Hangout, and she was just talking about it yesterday. That's how it got my mind spinning on it again.
I'm so impressed that in the time from, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't really take it seriously when Belina was doing it. I was like, oh, is this thing going to really take off?
You had R8 projects that
it seemed to me that because crypto adoption rates are so low, I was like, if they're trying to push these nodes to be effectively run by, it's going to be a subset of people who are in crypto, which is already a tiny subset of the population, and then expect to have decent coverage. I was like, this is either going to take forever or not work at all. And I thought certainly not in my country, where at the time there was zero. My city had, when I looked at the map, there were none. There were literally zero. And I was like, there's no point in me running a node, because I think the way it works is there has to be at least one other one for you guys to be able to communicate so that you get paid. Like, I think your payout is very low if you don't have other ones that you can communicate with, some shit like that. I can't remember exactly. But I was just like,
well,
it's not worth me.
Craig Wadding also does a lot of that stuff. He was talking in the FN Hangout last night. He says he uses it to pay for his Ethereum gas fees. He says it basically covers all his Ethereum gas fees.
Yeah. Now I'm keen, dude. Now that I've seen how many
that chart makes me keen, dude.
The fact that there's a shit ton of people already in my city that are using them.
Let's look at all the hexagons that posted to the fitness challenge real quick. We got Hexstack looking like a savage. Oh shit. Absolutely swollen crypto honesty. You're always Oh shit. Hexagon girl. Look at the abs. Absolutely phenomenal.
Ripped.
Fucking shredded. Damn, six pack. Truth sliding in on him. Get him. Go get him. I'm in. Doxing be damned. Look, I get everyone to dox themselves. I fucking love it. I'm in. Doxing be damned. Circa 2015, when I was last serious about cutting and maintaining weight. We're getting you right back here. Hexander. So basically, the point of this tangent is to send a picture of the best fitness you were in your life, and then we're going to try to get back to that point. We're not like blowing through any all-time highs, but we're going to try to get hexagons back to like where they were when they felt most comfortable.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So like this guy, like for example, like I would say this guy said he feels and looks good in this picture, and this is probably where he would like to get back to. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to get everyone in the Telegram shredded. I'm calling not natty, but let me know if that's natty.
Are you gonna boot people who are too ripped, like, and be like, sorry, wait, because this is.
We're getting back to baseline.
Yeah. Sorry. I keep forgetting. These are not photos of where they're at now. Because some of these photos, I'm assuming that's where they're at now, and I'm like, they don't need gym advice. They're fucking ripped.
So I think Wendy's. This is Wendy's, and he this is probably what he looked like at his peak. He looks great, vascular, lean. He wants to get back here. Get ready for Motley Investor. That's right. Crypto Vince. you know. Whoa, par excellence, absolute unit. Looking good, brother.
We're friends in real life.
Oh no shit!
No shit.
Are you kidding me?
We went to uni together.
No shit!
That's a sick Pulse t-shirt he's got on there.
You're fucking ripped too, dude. You look
I didn't know him when he was that huge actually, because we were friends in uni, and then
Dude.
I didn't.
Oh, you mean
then there
you
was
knew him back then?
So yeah, so we were friends in uni, and he was. I don't remember him being that huge, and then obviously he must have got huge post uni, but then I've only caught up with him recently because of Hex.
Oh, this is the dude that's a really cool story, and I love that. I mean, that shows how powerful, like, the fact that you went to uni and then it's just everywhere now at this point. This is Tyler. He said he went homeless earlier to pursue his dream of, I think he's an actor in Hollywood, and supposedly he's fucking crushing it. And this is him fucking doing skate shit, dude. You seem cool as shit. Jawa, protect. I like that. Nice shit, dude. Good shit, guys. Oh, fuck. Clint Rock, absolute unit. What's going on here? Unit. Oh, shit. Is that Motley's back? Holy S, Motley. You're a fucking giant. Is that natural, Motley? Crazy. Fucking ripped. This was in 2000. Need to get back. Let's get fucking back right now. No issues here, brother. Let's get right back. That's easy money. Here's Hex Siren. Baby Siren. She is an absolute warrior. This girl, she fucking takes care of her kid. She works. She goes to the gym every single fucking day, writes down her workouts, takes pictures of her meals. She is the ideal person to go by as far as someone who took fitness to the next level, and she's going to keep going. Tony D, looking good, brother. The tan, the tats. You look like someone I would not want to run into in an alleyway. But that's always a good thing. It's always good to be a little scary. Thanks for all the pictures, guys. That was cool. That was just a little tweet that that's how you spread the love, guys. Simple as that. Hold on. Boom. It's difficult to find a decently looking female in the U.S. to match my homelessness. Oh, you said handsomeness. I thought you said homelessness.
Lol.
My bad, dude. No, it's not, dude. You don't need a certain chick. Dude, there's so many cute chicks, bro. How many cute chicks are there, Tangent? Like, if you were just like, okay, I'm just going to single up and just be like, you could find a cute chick, nothing out of crazy that you could probably have a great life with. You know what I mean? You know that. I feel that.
Yeah, man. I've seen those Girls Gone Wild videos, man.
Yeah. They all do that shit when they're 19.
I'm joking.
I've seen them.
So, did you notice that on the Helium website where it's got the coverage map, it uses hexagons?
Yes.
That's hectic.
No, it's super hectic. What is that website called again? Because I'll zoom into my area and kind of show you like what it looks like in my area. Because I've been on this website before.
Explorer.helium.com. This is fucking madness.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me not share this until I move away from where I'm directly located.
I'm fucking really struggling to believe that this map is claiming that there are pricks that basically like live around me that are running these Helium nodes. Like
there are, dude. There are,
like literally
dude.
Down the street and shit.
There are, dude. There are. I'm telling you, you could just go to the biggest city and spend time looking at the top of people's houses. You can see them. Or sometimes they're in their house too. But like, depending on how you do it, but I'm sure you can run an antenna and then that's how they do it, right? So hold on, I'm going to pull up this Helium chart real quick. I mean, this Helium heat map, I guess that's what it would be called. And
hold up. Does this
well,
mean
this is a good way to show you like what it's like here, so you can kind of compare and contrast. Like, let's go over to New York area. So this is where I live, right? This is the DMV, the Baltimore, DC's down here, Baltimore's right here, Virginia. This is like the DMV area. Actually, how far am I up? Yeah. And let's dive into the DMV area a little bit. So this is Baltimore. This is downtown Baltimore.
that's intense,
So
man?
if you zoom in really close, and this is a random ass city that's not technologically advanced at all. It's a fucking shithole. This is a shithole city. I'm telling you that right now. Like, this is not.
So within that, those numbers are the number of nodes within that grid sector.
Yes, and you
Bro,
can click on it. So the last one to go. The last one to go was 2 months ago.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you can actually click and get details.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't let much slip here. It tells you exactly how much they're making. Activity. Witness begin invalid witness.
Bro. Governments are fucked. It's game over, man. It's game over. Dude,
you can zoom in further and like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, this is down to the fucking inch, bro. Like, this is almost my whole entire area completely covered. Like, this is DC.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go into DC. There's 17 here. And if there's more people in your area, like, you're going to want to be in an area more so like this, I heard. Like, this is more profitable than this. It's kind of what I heard, but it also depends on the density of some other stuff. It's pretty crazy shit, though.
You know what this means, though? Do you know why I'm getting such a hard on for this shit, man?
Because then decentralized internet.
One of the things that's the most difficult thing over here in Australia is you cannot get a fucking SIM card without ID. Like, they do not let you like SIM cards, like, so a mobile phone, right?
Yeah.
If you want a mobile phone, like, you know how you guys have got burners? Or used to. I don't know whether you can still do that shit anymore, but you can basically have a phone that's not linked to your identity.
It's all third party, but yeah.
So over here, you can't do that. There's no such thing. You can get prepaid phones where you pay for the credit before you use it, and then it's like it's got credit on it, but you have to have your ID linked to that shit as well. So there is no such thing as being able to use a mobile phone. I'm like, perhaps if you like dark web sims or something like that, but like assuming that you want to keep your shit legal, you cannot use the mobile phone network without your identity being linked to that phone, right? Mm-hmm. However, in the modern era, no one gives a shit about phone calls and SMSs anymore, because you can do like VoIP calls, you can do messaging, and phone calls can basically be done over data. So if you can basically have a phone with no SIM card, Wi-Fi turned on, and a mesh network situation like this, where you just use HNT and like you just use helium and use data.
$500 a month here.
It means you could go anywhere in the city, assuming you've got coverage. You don't need a SIM card anymore. You just have you still have a device that is a phone or a tablet, but you just have the Wi-Fi turned on.
Basically like Wi-Fi, just decentralized and everywhere.
It's like having Wi-Fi everywhere. It's like having Wi-Fi everywhere, because
how does that happen though? Like, I understand like how it's all running, but how does like your phone directly interact with that rather than directly interact with the things that it's supposed to interact with? I don't know.
I think you'd have to download an app onto your phone that understands the helium data protocol shit. Like,
so that could be controlled by them. That could be controlled by them as well.
But it doesn't matter, because they don't take your identity. Sorry, it doesn't matter if they don't.
Like, are they allowed to like control what
Mm.
apps you use and don't use on certain devices?
Yeah, but as long as Helium doesn't take any identifying information, then it's better. Like, as in,
Yeah, I'm just worried, like, even if it worked out, if they would make it not work out, kind of like you were alluding to earlier.
What? Try and shut it down.
Well, not even that, but just like make it so whatever units that we're using don't function in the way that maybe they would have to, like by programming the phones, or because everyone has an iPhone in the States. So it's like iPhone makes the rule. But like burner phones and shit, like if you wanted to talk about, like the dark web of having a burner phone, I think it'd be dope. Like the people that utilize it, is that kind of what you're saying? Like certain people would utilize this, not the general public.
It would be like, I'm hoping that it would be like having a burner phone. I mean, I imagine that the ethos of this team and company is not only ethically, but just in terms of them covering their own shit. To the easiest way to remove responsibility for what your network or platform or whatever is happening is to make it in such a way where you don't actually have control. So they would be smart and ethical to do this thing in a way where they don't have the ability to censor it. They don't have the ability to, you know what I mean? So then you just go like, like a decentralized exchange. You're just like, oh, whoopsie, sorry, government, I can't stop it.
Yeah,
like,
I can't stop my fingers.
Shit, sorry, bro. I launched Bitcoin and now it's
wrecked.
Whoopsie.
Dude,
like,
what do you think about crypto?
Just wrecked your financial system, your legal system, your authority system. Like, just wrecked you accidentally. Whoopsie. Sorry, what was the question?
Pull up a little chart if you don't mind. I don't care if you do. Hex. Everyone's talking about Hex making some price moves at this moment.
Is it pumping? That makes me happy, man. We're long overdue for that shit, bro.
Yeah, but it's not, it could be a fake out.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I can pull up a charty poos.
Yeah.
I'm using your terminology. That was
I put poos on the end of anything. Sleepy poo.
I noticed, man. I noticed.
Yeah. Everyone loves that. It's a fan favorite. When bodybuilders say poo at the end of stuff, everyone laughs. But dude, I'm gonna be moving in with Sam. I'm like fucking jacked up.
All right, that's the Hex chart.
Damn, son. Ooh, look at that little triangle banger down.
Come back.
Straight back up. Let's go.
Come back.
So let's talk about your thoughts for a minute. Obviously, we don't care. Wow, look at that fucking red dick.
Yeah, let's get into the financial advice because
yes,
that's what everyone came here for.
Where do you see Bitcoin and Ethereum in 1 month's time?
Oh shit. Well, I'm personally DCAing more into Bitcoin, not giving a shit what it goes down to. So like, have you heard me say in the past that like you look at what you think are the most extreme but likely scenarios. So it's like your likely worst case scenario, likely best case scenario.
Yes, sir.
And then you assess what you're doing based on like you think about both of those scenarios with what your plan is and make sure that your plan is suitable for both. So my likely worst case for Bitcoin is going down to like, I don't know, high 20s over the next 6 to 8 months, and then just going absolute bullshit nuts to the upside.
I totally agree.
As like institutions come in and shit like that. I mean, it's already so nuts that there are large scale buyers. Exchanges are like drying up. The
when you say exchanges are drying up,
so on chain like exchange flows, like so basically flows of Bitcoin from exchanges to off exchanges is basically at all-time highs.
Oh, okay.
So exchange like their balances of how much Bitcoin they've got on exchange is being heavily depleted. So in terms of supply shock, you've got massive institutional players coming in trying to buy the shit up. You've got on-chain showing like that, like hodlers, like holding is like on the increase. Like it's shocking to me that the price hasn't already gone up. So
it's not shocking to me a little bit because the geopolitical climate is a little bit whacked.
yeah, that's true. There is a bit of uncertainty in that shit.
Dude, they can literally lock you in your house, bro.
Oh my god, bro, did you see that Russell Brand video with the screaming towers in China?
Mm-mm.
The lockdown, this is like terrifying shit. The lockdowns have been so harsh that there are entire like city like areas with like basically skyscrapers where everyone is just screaming. Like, so there's videos where it's
what are
just
they
like
fucking doing, dude? In a very non-specific way. What are very non-specific?
They're just screaming because I guess there's like
No, I mean, are they just saying you can't leave house?
yeah. They're setting like these
And why can't they leave the house?
I guess
Spreading of potential
fake viruses. No, I'm just kidding. Like I'm not sure. I think they're just having like outbreaks of new some shit. I don't know, man. I don't keep up with that side of it, but
that's scary, dude. I hope that that's more marketing and more media than anything. I mean, I know it's happening, but I hope that they're over. I hope it's not everyone. Like, I don't know how China works.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope.
But you know how shit goes too. Like sometimes they take a video out of context and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying people down there aren't getting wrecked, but like I don't know shit, you know.
What was the reason why I mentioned that? So basically,
like,
yeah. So in terms of like global uncertainty and shit like that, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That we'll have to see how that plays out. And you also asked me about Ethereum. Ethereum's been quite strong. Do you want to bring this hex chart back up? Because I've just adjusted these lines a little bit. So this was the epic pump that started like a few days ago.
Yep. Total. It was I don't know about epic, but like there was way more people on my stream that day by like double. Isn't it funny when it pumps, the stream pumps?
Yeah, because like we had been ranging sideways. Look at this. Look at this.
Ridiculously flat. Insanity.
This was range bound in such a like consistent range.
And what can that tell you sometimes when it does that? What is that? What does Tangent think sometimes when that occurs?
Well, I mean, like people say it's accumulation, but I guess it just means like uncertainty, I guess, like that the non-directional market, crab market. So basically just how long did that go on for? That was like 11th of April through to, so it was like 3 days of literally being between 12 cents and 11.5 cents. So it was like a half-cent range for 3 or 4 days.
Hex hodl is inferring that Ethereum is not gaining market share. There is no flippening. Simple math says it's 50% down versus Bitcoin since 2018. I don't know enough about all that shit.
Yeah, I made a bold claim where I said that I think a Richard Hart project will flip Bitcoin in market cap before Ethereum does.
I agree.
And I was actually surprised at how many people disagreed. I thought that was pretty obvious.
I think there's a public sentiment that Ethereum is way, way better than Bitcoin as far as the price action, but maybe if you look at the chart, it's not necessarily the truth from a really long-term perspective.
And by the way, my comment is my prediction's nothing to do with project quality, purely to do with supply, like that Richard's just made the supply so high that it makes it so much easier to do like a fake flipping on market cap nonsense, you know?
Are you a perma bull?
On what?
Everything.
I'm perma bull on crypto long term. I'm perma bull on Bitcoin. I'm perma bull on like people waking the fuck up.
That's hilarious. I'm also perma bull on people waking the fuck up. Like, seriously, guys, if you're sitting at your house and just lazily looking at your shit all day long and you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and you don't have kids and shit, if you have kids and shit, I don't know what the fuck to say about that. But like, if you don't have kids and you're bitching, you're fucking up. Tangent, isn't that right? You can bitch if you have kids, like straight up. If someone wants to bitch about their kids to me, like fucking go ahead. Like if I kind of think having kids is like a noble act in a way. So like if people are bitching about their kids, it's kind of like, oh well, yeah, you bitch about that a little bit.
Bro,
it's kind of like
such a massive sacrifice. Holy shit.
There's so much variable to it too. Like you can't predict what these little munchkins are gonna be doing when they wake up. They're fucking wild, dude. And but so yeah, in general, guys, if you are single or like a young man and you don't have everything together, you're in a very good spot as long as you're not in like sick debt. Like we're in crypto right now. They're printing out money endlessly. All you have to do is park it. All you have to do is figure out how to park the money. Where can I park it the most decentralized? Everything we're talking about, HNT, that's a little bit afterthought once you get your initial Tangent's had his initial bags in for a decade now. So like, you know, but like as far as new people coming in, their initial bag should be some T-shares, some Ethereum. Get some shit in order before you start thinking about HNT, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the other thing with HNT, it's so this is something that Richard Hart says, but I also was aware of this prior to even knowing of Richard Hart, is that typically if you are buying a miner or any kind of like thing that is designed to generate coins,
Device, yeah.
Historically speaking, you are better off just buying the coins, because by the time that you have actually, so say one of these HNT nodes costs like, I don't know, $1,000 or something. I'm pulling that out of my ass. I've got barely any of these websites had prices on them. By the time you've earned back $1,000 worth of HNT tokens, if the price has gone up, you would have actually made more money just buying $1,000 worth of HNT tokens and sitting on that. That would be more profitable than waiting to try and, but however, then at the tail end, once you've got the device, it prints forever. So it might, the economics might be slightly different with something like this than say something like a Bitcoin miner, which loses its rate of yield, like that it doesn't, because with a Bitcoin miner, as it gets older and new chips come out that are more powerful, you don't like your rate of Bitcoin acquisition goes down or whatever. I'm not sure how these HNT ones work.
Well, I always tell Sam the same thing. I said, Sam, or even you, let's say you have zero money and you're starting a business today, and I have zero money and I'm not starting a business. I'm going to go to the corner and ask for money, and I'm going to put it directly into crypto. I will outpace you because you have that first 6 months where you're wrecked and you're trying to figure shit out. And I'm like, wow, I just did 1,100% and I made $200 a day begging for dollars, or $50 a day begging for dollars. People don't realize they're wasting all their time. It has nothing to do with money. They're wasting all their time. So they're like, I have to work every day, all day long. Yes, I do. And you're like, wait, you're convincing yourself to spend $7,000 of shit per month because you have to work all day. Because working all day also inversely like makes you buy more shit.
Yeah, you're basically buying a job. Like Richard's so right about the whole. You're very rarely going to be able to outpace crypto gains.
You can't outpace inflation. That's the thing. You can't outpace inflation, and inflation goes to crypto gains. Like all of it goes to crypto gains and fucking Tesla stock and Twitter stock and fucking whatever everyone else is shilling in the NFT world. I wish all those NFT scams would stop so more of that money could flow in the right spaces, but whatever.
Let's take a quick look at ETH.
Yes, please.
I think ETH has been
$600 each for the miner. That's what Lionheart paid.
$600.
Said the HNT miners paid for themselves 20x over during the bull run. They're pretty low monthly income now, though.
Yeah, that sounds cheap. That sounds pretty cheap. I
don't have Telegram. I have deleted the app. I prefer to listen to you guys on YouTube. Well, Will, we're gonna have lots of ways in the future to I'm doing a Discord too. I'm fucking setting up the dopest Discord in history. Bullish is fucking setting it up. He's a fucking god. There's music. We're gonna be tagging everyone's links and shit. It's gonna be dope. Tangent will be in there. Trust me, Tangent will have no choice because it's gonna be popping that hard.
Yeah, I've still got Discord. Remember, I lost Telegram.
Great.
All right. Yo, actually, I'll show the.
You'd love to have a place to chat then, probably.
So
on occasion.
Bit of controversy. Did you see that shit where there was Be Mindful of Death or whatever posted this tweet about being bearish on all Richard Hart shit, saying that it's a con and
I smoked that person, dude. I got like 100 freaking likes on that
likes
picture. I was like, you either on drugs or you just got hacked. But tell me where Richard Hart hurt you.
And I think I saw that post of yours. Point to where Richard Hart hurt you. So basically,
and then everyone said Richard Hart had blocked her weeks before. That's the reason she's doing it, or he.
Someone suspected that it was that he or she went all in on Hedron, and then Richard created some sell wall or some shit like that. But anyway, the price hasn't even really gone down that much.
It looks good to me. This looks solid to me.
Even if you went in all in at the fucking top,
right? Which a lot of people do.
It's only down it's down 80%. Less than Hex is down.
80%.
Hex is down more than that. So
80% from the bottom right there, from the top to the bottom right there, like a couple of days ago, it's 80%. That's what I said at least.
So now, anyway, this level here that I was actually looking for when we broke out of the parabola, because I did the whole I was saying, Richard Hart says when fall out of the parabola, go 80%, roughly down to around here, and we actually broke down below that level, which is this old resistance / support, and now we're below this, so now that's resistance. So we're basically at the resistance level right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm not too stressed by that. But if this is the chart that caused all that nonsense, I was just surprised that she blocked me when my comments. I did not say anything rude. I wasn't like. My first response was like, "Are you tripping?" But that was a genuine question. I thought she might have been on psychedelics, and then after that, I was just making genuine. I even said like, yo, if you actually have got, if you believe that you've got things that you don't like about Hex, like if you've got actual genuine criticisms of Hex, DM me and I'll add them to my notes for when I debate Richard. Silence. No, so
yeah, nobody will answer anything about that shit.
I'm like, you can't.
Dude, you're just realizing that no one knows shit. No one knows what to fucking tell you. Yeah, there's a couple people, but they don't want to fucking talk. But 90% of the people that chat all day on Twitter don't know shit about Bitcoin.
But to be making no. I was asking her because she was shitting on she was claiming that.
Everyone said that girl goes off
by Richard.
They said they go off that girl used to go, or a guy used to go off all the time. So it kind of made sense. At the bottom, they were like, that person is always doing this shit.
Yeah, I did see that.
So I mean, at the end of the day, like someone got butthurt and lots of shit came out, and that's about it. But we need to, I think, as a community, we need to make people understand more about crypto in general, instead of making people just like, because Richard is a very uh, polarizing figure. It's very easy just to listen to him and do nothing else. And yeah, you'll probably fucking win at life hardcore if you do that, which is dope. But at the same time, just because you learn something from Richard Hart doesn't mean you can preach shit all over the internet, because you don't know enough about the other stuff around it to really preach. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fair for you to say, yes, I made these gains on Hex, but I don't know one thing about Bitcoin, but let me tell you why Hex is amazing. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I pretty much stopped onboarding altogether, because it's like, I'm just not there yet. Right. Like, I don't want to be there. That's not my place yet. I mean, I'm doing this and onboarding and awareness and stuff and branding and all that, but I don't want to be telling people directly anymore. I got all my friends and family. Like, hey, this is going on because of this. Cause I'm like, Scott, maybe you don't know enough about the other stuff. And I just said my fucking name online, but whatever.
I also thought it could have been the delay with pulsechain.
Yeah, so some people are getting, well, they're just pointing to that because they're so butthurt, but everyone knows that. It seems like everyone knows that software is just a bitch that does software, and I don't do software, so I don't know if that's true. But I mean, from the people that do software that I've spoken to, they're like, yeah, this is normal as shit. What do you think about that? Do you know anything about software?
I mean, certainly not enough to be able to comment on how long it should take to launch a blockchain. I guess Richard did initially make it sound like, because so much of the code was being copied, that it was reasonably minor to get it across the line to have a functioning network. And don't get me wrong, I think what I've seen on testnet is incredible. Like, I'm really happy with how it looks, and I think the graphic design, like UX, UI and shit, is like tight as fuck. So I'm definitely not shitting on what has been achieved. I just think certainly the people who are upset about the total delay are like, it's understandable.
Is it though? Because we're in a bear market, all the money would be going down anyway, so I don't even give a fuck. It's like, yeah, you could have taken out into USDC and staked it for 9%. I guess you could have done that, right? You could have taken all. This is what Tangent.
But could you be sure? Like, can you be sure that it would have gone down with the amount of community hype, like locally?
What do you mean, Hex?
Yeah, I think
that I just think 54 cents was totally blown over top. I just think so many people.
No. I'm talking about. I'm saying if pulsechain had launched.
You think there are some people that think pulsechain can redirect the entire market as like a catalyst, a little catalyst, like a little spark that changes a lot. And I don't really buy into that at all. To be honest, I don't think there's enough power there economically. But like, people are also kind of broke right now. I mean, not everyone, but like, I would say if it's all up to the whales, like, I just don't understand enough about the market to know what percentage of the moves are just whales all the time. And then like what small percentage is like random ass people like me. So I can't really tell, because I always think like public sentiment. And then I'm like, do we even have enough money to make shit happen? Do these whales have so much more economic mass than we do that it's just a whale game at this point?
Do you know what I would do if I was like an absolutely insanely wealthy person? What? High net wealth individual,
like someone with 3 supercars?
I would get one coin that is big enough, and it would either be like my own coin or a friend's coin, or maybe just not even, and get that coin in a position where you can actually manipulate the price, like that you're a big enough holder that you are not like you're definitely not going to get dumped on by someone else, right? Like that if you pump it. So let's just use like Richard and Hex for an example, right? You could effectively save, I believe you could save the entire crypto market, because the greed is real. When people start hearing that people became overnight multimillionaires on Shiba Inu, that gets the FOMO cranking for people searching out the next gem across the whole thing, and people start like investing in crypto and shit like that, right? Like it brings a lot of hype and buzz. So you only need one coin that is theoretically making people like ultra wealthy. So you could just get that one coin, and
like the best store of
you might have to cycle it and not just always use the same coin.
It seems like you're just talking about Hex and Richard.
It'll be like Boy Who Cried Wolf. If it's just always the same coin is the one that pumps when it's a bear market to try and build the hype.
How manipulated do you feel like Hex is?
No, I don't think it's manipulated at all. Sorry, I shouldn't have used Richard as an
example.
No,
I would disagree. I think that every financial institution with large money is manipulated. Therefore, I don't take this as anything different. And when I say manipulated to the upside, in this case, this is manipulated to the upside as far as like there's people with the common interest of the group that want to buy more Hex. I mean, that's not everyone, but I think in this community that exists. It seems like, at least, like there's entities that are so rich that they just want this to work out, so all their friends become so rich that they can do whatever they want. So therefore, it's kind of manipulated, but like I like that kind of manipulation.
Well, this is actually a comment that Tone Vase makes. If someone has got a massive stack, like say you're playing a game of poker, this is the exact analogy that he brings. Say you're playing a game of poker and someone at the table is the big stack, and they start like throwing their weight around, like bluffing hard and like going all in and shit, scaring people and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Is that like manipulation? It's not. It's like you're just using the fact that you're the big stack to your advantage. And so in markets, is it manipulation if a high net wealth individual or an institution moves the market with their economic energy because they can? It's
just like, what's the definition of manipulation at that point?
Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't say manipulation
as far as like it has control that the like general market doesn't necessarily understand. Like I would say the general market doesn't understand. Like in my mind, there's like 20 whales that like DM each other and they're like, when do you guys want to moon? Like that's like literally like I think like that sometimes because you see the buys and they come in so rapidly and you have to think these people understand that. They understand the psychology of the chart. They've been doing it for a long time. So they know when all these guys are going to start dumping and crying. And then they know the second that people start saying it's over, then they start DACAing again. And they're just not there yet, in my opinion. Like with the pulse chain launch and like, because it's not illegal to do these things. Like it's like, it's not illegal. It's just the way things work in my eyes. That's kind of how it works in my eyes. I could be totally fucking wrong.
I guess the point that I was trying to make before is I don't think it takes very much to flip fear into greed and greed into fear. Like I think that shit is like the market is bipolar in that sense that it's like it when it flips hard, and it only takes a few people going around telling their friends that they got rich as shit and bought a Lambo off Shiba Inu that makes every mofo want to come in and start buying crypto. So,
everyone. It happens at one moment. That's kind of what I'm saying though. Like it feels like it happens in a moment. Like in one moment when you really know, 3 cent price move. Come on, guys. We all know what Hex is capable of. Like, yeah, that could be a good sign. But at the same time, like in my eyes, Hex, it can be decorrelated for sure. Like it can be, but I'd say it also becomes less decorrelated over time on the Ethereum network, probably due to economic mass and,
Yeah, man. I just want to see Hex back at all-time highs. That would make me a happy camper.
Imagine our vibes. If our vibes are this good right now, imagine how sick our vibes will be, dude.
Yeah, man.
Especially when that scamming company comes out and we're just really pumping it. Remember, we're gonna scam everyone 5555 it and then redistribute it, and I'll pay the gas.
This has been absolutely brutal. So this,
Have you claimed any of your maxi yet or minted any maxi?
I didn't go in on it, man.
Okay.
I didn't have anything against it. I thought it was a cool idea, and I considered it and didn't have the reason I didn't go in, it wasn't I had any issue with it. It's just I have like literally got thousands of coins, and I'm actively trying to decrease the number of fucking tickers that I have to look at each day or each month or whatever the fuck. And so like the idea of me having like another ticker in my portfolio that's actually a coin that I already own, i.e. Hex, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. So for me personally, in terms of my mission to try and decrease the number of different coins I have, it didn't suit my mission statement. But for everyone else, I think it's fine. Like, as in, I hope that's clear. Like, I definitely don't want to sound like I'm being negative on the project.
No, you're not. I'm not either. I think it's cool. Basically, your maxi token is going to be the equivalent value of a max hex stake with the 150 million multiplier. If it crosses it, which you would have never been able to get before, and I'm talking to the average person, that you would have. So basically, you're just minting maxi, and it's giving you the maxi coin is going to be directly represented by the value of the hedron and the hex and the max stake and the max multiplier combined. So I mean, it's just like it's a good project. It makes sense. It's
is it still open?
It just opened yesterday.
So
you mint 1 for 1. So if you put 500 hex tokens into the maxi contract, you get 500 maxi back, and that's
so it's open for like another whatever, like
14 days or 12 days. You get the same rate the whole time. Same rate the whole time.
Same rate the whole time.
15 days and then it's on forever. Done forever.
People rushed in that hard at the very start.
Yeah, I mean it's a hype.
Did anyone check to make sure that it's definitely like
I did it.
No admin keys, like actual smart contracts.
Yes, like after the 15 days, it's shut down and it's a finished product.
Did anyone ever ask how does the stake even get formed if there's no person in control? I
gotta again, I can't rack my brain for that direct info, but I've asked those questions. So if anyone can clarify in the comments, I know someone in the comments knows that. As far as the staking, guys, when all that hex goes in there, who is the 5555 staker, and is that just a public account or is it what's up? But Wales loves the shit which is I mean that's a like
I found out about it from Wales, like as in Wales was the first person to bring it to my attention.
I heard about it a little bit before that, like because I watch Gold Keys and stuff. I keep on watching all these guys, and anytime they lock up hex away from reckless market dumpers, I am a huge fan. And another thing this is really doing, Tangent, is it's all the hex that's going in there. Imagine all the ETH fees that would have been created to get all those individual hex stakes created. And
it's gonna be. You're right. It's gonna be locking up an absolute shit ton of hex.
You want to look how much right now? I can look right now.
Isn't it already in the millions?
Oh yes, there was a 10 million, I think, so buy or something.
Fuck. Maybe I do need to get involved in this.
Yeah, I knew I was going to hype you up when I said the value of the max. Because if you keep the maxi token, you can just get what you earned in the stake back. If you never touch your maxi token, you can just give it back, and they'll just give you the direct correlated value of what you got with the max multiplier. So therefore, it is a 1-in-1.
So no, but the risk is that if that maxi token or whatever falls in value against hex or against dollar or whatever, against hex, say, before the stake ends, your only option is to either wait 15 years or cop a loss.
30 million.
Follow what I'm saying?
One more time.
So the risk is that if at any point the floating price of Maxi versus Hex goes down because of like market forces rather than underlying value, because obviously it's a liquid, right? So say someone really needs the money, they can't like it. So it is possible that the Maxi token can go down against Hex rather than up, which is theoretically the direction it's meant to go in, because it's like over time it's meant to sort of become worth. So it's theoretical underlying value is the 1 Hex plus whatever interest is accrued or whatever, plus the hedron, whatever. But that's illiquid. So it's possible that because of that illiquidity, the Maxi token at some point in its life could, and in fact, is there someone posted a chart. So it's possible that there's already,
well, 150 million stake ends. Of course,
Yeah,
people are going to cash out, and Hex price will go down. Yes.
there's already a freaking Maxi freaking chart.
Yeah, because it's minted. You can buy Maxi.
Okay, so that's not.
I know people that are just buying Maxi. The Maxi treasury has 4.382 million right now.
Wait, how can you buy it? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I just heard people saying they will.
it would have to be off someone who has
Yeah.
created it, right? There shouldn't be.
Well,
there shouldn't
no,
be
yeah, you
loose
can
shit.
sell it once you get it, I guess. Yeah.
There shouldn't have been any Maxi that was just generated out of thin
Nope.
air, right?
Nope.
No. So the
One
only
to
shit
one.
that's for sale on the open market
Is
would be-
exactly the same amount of Hex that they put in there.
All right, so there's like a Maxi die pair. What the? Oh no, that's Maximizer. What the fuck? Sorry. That's not the right shit. I'm gonna have to actually jet soon, man. But let's just
You're
pull up
good,
this chart.
dude.
This one's flat.
Maxi is
Sorry.
trading now.
I can't see unless there's a chart in here. No,
Maxi's about the same price as Hex right now.
I can't find it. But someone posted a chart on Twitter where the price was just like mooning like fuck. It was like a Maxi versus Hex chart.
How do you buy Maxi, people? I'm a pleb. What up, blue collar investor? I'm a pleb too. Where can you buy Maxi? Anyone want to answer that? Can you buy? Maybe you can only buy.
Well, no. I mean, on a DEX, like as in if that chart that got posted on Twitter was legit.
Oh, Dex.
But yeah,
go to this Dex trainer right here.
So that's the only risk. The only risk is that if the market rate of Maxi goes down temporarily, and then you need to sell it for whatever reason, like you need the money, and it's
But I mean, the
1
people that are
Hex.
putting money into the Maxi contract, I can't imagine they're people that maybe I don't know how people think. I guess you're right, because when I put money into the Maxi contract, I was just like, oh, another thing I can hold. Right? Like, that's just how I think about it. I don't think about selling it or trading it. I'm like, well, if this pops off with 1% of my bag, then fantastic.
Yeah.
1% though, guys. You know what I mean? Like 1 or 2%. Like, $1,000, $500, $600, $600. If you're richer, $10,000. But like at the same time, it's like you don't have to fucking blow your load. If these things work out, they work out, and you just make money from it. You don't have to put everything you got into one project and hope that's the only way you're going to make it, because that's the only way you're going to lose. Literally. That's the only way you're going to lose, is to go all in on Hedron because you think you're too late for Hex. I'm not saying Hedron sucks, but I'm saying there's so many people that do shit like that. They're like, man, I'm so late for Hex that I'm just going to all in on Hedron with everything I own. And then it's like, oh, whoopsie. Now I hate Richard Hart. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a whoopsie poo. And then
Dude,
You're like
lol.
cutting yourself and tweeting, and you're like, Richard, you're going to hell, when all you did was made a bad decision and you didn't do exactly what Richard told you to do the entirety of his career online.
Well, the issue that I have is like, you can't make outlandish statements like that and then not give reasons. Like you can't be like, oh, I've been conned by Richard Hart just because I said I am. You've got to throw down some like evidence, or at least some like rough reasoning or logic as to why you feel conned, or why you like. But basically people had to speculate what the problem was. And then I was in there posting being like, hey, some people are saying this, some people are saying this. Can you clarify what the actual issue is? Like, is it this? Is it this? I had some people posting on there saying that the whole thing was like a joke and then it was a troll. So I was like, yo, is this a joke? And then never got any response.
Well, that's everyone in the community for the most part that doesn't know exactly what they're saying, but they want to put themselves in a position where they're saying things. So, and then guys like you come in and they ask a critical question, and then it all goes to shit because no one wants to answer a critical question. Trust me, I've been talking to Sam every day for 6 years. No one likes the guy. You know why? Because he asks too many critical questions. And you know what it does?
Oh, yeah. Exposes bullshit.
Everyone. It exposes everyone. And that's why he's a loner. And that's why I'm one of his only friends, because he's just like, it's intuitive. It's not like he writes this down and says it, but it's like when someone doesn't answer his direct question, he now hates you. He now thinks you're that guy. He doesn't have to act. And I do the same thing. Someone wants to wiggle around the topic. I'm like, wow, you just taught me you're an idiot. That's all I
need. Yeah, I can imagine. Yep. I can imagine that.
Check this out right here.
People who know just how to talk enough shit to make it sound like they know what the fuck they're talking about. If you have someone who's like literally eager to learn, then and actually wants the answer, where they're not going to let it go and not just let them like trail off into like nonsense and be like, no, I actually want the answer to my question. Like, what's this? Then it would expose a lot of bullshit.
But if you put 4 of those guys in the same house and say, make a business, you rule the world. It's true. You rule the world because no one can stop you, because you have no loose ends. There's no one that can walk through my door today and say, Scott, I have this information on you and you better.
Yo, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Reality TV show. We get the guys in the Hex community that talk fucking nonsense and just like trail off talking about bullshit that doesn't make any sense, don't answer the question, and just run off on like rants that sound cool but doesn't actually say shit. We put them in one house and they have to like
start a business or
start a scam business or whatever. And then we get the people who do real talk and know what the fuck they're doing. We put them in a separate house. And obviously that's us. And then each team has to try and scam as many people as possible. And maybe as an added twist, you get bonus points for whenever you use Richard Hart quotes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, people are such our age. This is what I don't understand about people. It's like, well, I do understand a lot about people. They're lazy. They're all lazy. But why are they lazy, Tangent? It's not because they're not smart. It's one, their diets are horrible. They don't sleep. They drink too much. They're on drugs. And we all have been there. Everyone does that a little bit. But at the same time, they have no structure within their life. They have no discipline within their life. They don't know how to sit there and work through a concept for their own well-being, because their character and everything, that's what they want. Most people sit here and they're like, man, I don't have a girlfriend. My life sucks. Like, that's literally like every human. Literally, they're all just sitting in their house, epically worried about something that doesn't matter zero. Literally matters less than zero. We could have 10 girls in here today, do whatever with them next day, same plebs, sitting here, and doesn't make a difference. And you learn that over time, right? You learn it makes no difference what you do other than being productive, business and stuff like that. Like, at some point, you got to take care of that. And it seems like you're more on the latter end of like I mean, I'm not saying your business, like you're probably going to do businesses and shit, but like of your plebbery, like you clearly don't have to like go into any more plebs shit. Hopefully.
Yeah, like as in I certainly am on a mission to not look for validation in the eyes of others, and therefore I don't need a girlfriend to be happy.
You're on that mission, bro. Dude, that is a good mission to be on. Dude, I could give a fuck about any chick. Literally, like
I'm not saying like that I'm actively like,
no, I know, but it's that
girlfriends. I don't need
mind.
one.
It's like that thing in your mind though that says like I want validation, right? It's just normal. It's a human thing. It's just like, oh, hot girls, people see me around, like that's a good feeling, right? Like when you go out with a hot ass chick to a party, you feel fucking great.
Bro, that
period end of story. I've done it a million times. It's a fantastic feeling. Everyone immediately wants to engage with you. Everyone immediately wants to talk to you. Everyone immediately wants to know what you got going on. And if anyone wants to act like that's not the truth and reality of this world, then you can frick off. That's because that's what my parents told me my whole life. None of that stuff matters. And it doesn't to a degree at the end of the day. Like now it doesn't matter to me as much. But when I was actively participating in it, doing steroids, having sex every day, it was miserable. It was a miserable experience. And it made me not trust people. It made me not trust myself. It made me not. It's like the same way you get when you listen to a fucking Bitcoin maxi talk about nothing for an hour. Like you're just like killing time. And I just felt like at some point I was killing time. Like if I'm going to be the type of person that I want to be, the person I attract in a few years is going to be way different than the person that I attract right now. So I'm not even going to fucking go for it. I'm like, this is what I need to do. But again, I'm a broke pleb. So it's like
that's the correct attitude though.
Yeah, but you also don't have like that underlying notion that you could go broke at any moment. So it's like you're thinking about other things too. It's like I'm very business focused right now because I'm 28 and it's like your time's now, buddy. You know what I mean? And you probably had those talks with yourself at different points in your life where you were like, girl's not as important this 6 months. Maybe, but maybe not.
I unfortunately have just been hardwired my entire life to prioritize females quite highly, like in terms of my priorities, like in you know what I mean? So unfortunately I never had that chat with myself of being like, hey, maybe like maybe allocate some focus towards something else.
If I had 50 mil in the bank, my plan might be a little different. You know what I mean? But, like I might be a little bit more worried about having sex.
My best female friend has said she said that I'm like a dog on heat or some shit like that, which I think is unduly harsh. But yeah, in terms of like her commentary on how hard I chase girls.
You chase girls in public. And I'm saying like you go out and party, like you like to hang out with your friends. I'm not saying you do that all the time, but like when I hit up a girl, like there ain't no middleman. Like it's just me, a date, and my house. Like, you know what I mean? I don't get my friends involved in my dating life at all. Zero, none, zippo, not even for a second.
Wait, what? You don't?
I don't get my friends on feet involved in my relationships until they're serious as fuck, which they've never been. So I've never done it. Because I don't even want them, because you know your friends are haters too. Like right when you bring a hot girl around, they all start hating her, fucking calling her the worst. And you're like, this bitch is all right. Like, why are y'all freaking out? But then you realize they're just jealous and then I'm like, okay, I don't want to bring anyone around anyone because everyone just judges me for it anyway. So I'm just going to succeed hardcore on my own.
And keep that shit separate.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, I don't need to prove to anyone. There was a time where I would make it a point to bring a girl around to feel a certain way about myself. But once I realized you could be way rich, I was like, whoa, you can be way rich. Like that's way easier. Because now, if I'm going to be quite honest, if I wanted to date, I wouldn't even have to do anything because they just DM me now. Or like a girl here and there will DM me and I'll just be like, hey, you want to hang out? Like it's just when you have enough like pictures of like fam and like surfing and shit, like people just like your page, they'll just fucking hit you up. And I'm not talking about like super hot, like 5 million subs. I don't fuck with girls like that. I hate that shit. I like girls that don't care about social media that much, but still have it. You know what I mean? Like it's just not like they're. I like girls that like have good lives and like love their parents and all that shit.
I was actually hitting on a chick on New Year's Eve that I didn't realize was like not famous, but like very high Instagram follower count or whatever. And so obviously it's better that I didn't know that. Not that it would really change my behavior, but it didn't go anywhere, by the way. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I found out afterwards. I was like, oh shit, that chick I was hitting on is like actually has a massive following.
Yeah, and it's funny, those girls with massive followings, when you actually fuck them, it's like they're dead inside, and they're not as
This chick's
I'm not
legit,
saying all
like,
of them. I'm saying the ones that sell their soul to the showing the ass and the titty online.
oh yeah.
I'm not saying this girl's that, okay? I'm saying 90% of them, which are just like, hey, I don't know where my life's going. I'm gonna start showing ass and titty. Like
this chick actually like stood up for me or some shit. I didn't realize we were dancing in a nightclub, and these chicks, I don't know why, because I think my dancing's great, but apparently these chicks, I think it might have just been like out of place for the type of club that it was. The way that we were dancing around was like probably a little bit too full on for the type of club it was. Apparently there was these two stuck up bitches that were like making fun of me, but I couldn't tell because it was behind my back. And I just saw her. This is the Insta famous chick. I just saw her. She took her mask off and gave these bitches the dirtiest look, like just stared them down.
Dude, you wanted your D
so hard. And so I thought she had beef with them. I was like,
Oh,
yo,
shit.
do you have beef with these girls? Like thinking that they were like enemies, like fucking mortal enemies of this chick. And she was like, nah, they were like mimicking the way that you were dancing. And I was touched by that shit. I was like, holy fuck. Like,
A real one. You found a real one. Go find her, Tangent. Anyway, guys, we gotta let Tangent go to bed because
yeah, I'm fading, man. You can probably hear it in my voice, man. I'm fading hard.
Trust me, I just know that sleep is important, and it's 2:13 a.m. in Perth, and
we're ending on a nice story of
success
of how you stand up for your friends.
Yeah, stand up for your friends, guys, and stop being friends with all those dummies that don't like to answer questions straight up because they're just vampire sucking people's energy out of your life. And that's the truth, because why else would they be speaking? Because they just want to be heard and they're not sure exactly how that occurs in this world. But I promise you, if you focus and you study and you learn and you find, you can only do the things you're passionate about. So if you're not passionate about crypto, like, I wouldn't study it every day, to be honest. I would just try to do your minimum. But like, you have to wake up every day and have a passion in order to move forward in this life, I think. So keep going, guys. I'm going to keep going. I'll probably be moving in with Sam next week and doing like a studio Joe Rogan setup. So it's going to be fucking insane, dude. We're going to be on the same camera at a desk, just like Rogan when he does his interviews.
Are you going to miss any streams because of the...
Fuck no, brother. Who are you talking to?
You're going to have like a 20-hour window between ending a stream, like ish.
Well, it's a 16-hour drive, so I'm going to have to leave right after my show.
You're going to have to do like a short stream, end it, drive,
or I could just let Sam do the last hour on the stream, and then
Good
I
point.
get an hour out, because my show in the morning is just a show in the morning. It's not really. It could be without me if it had to be. Like, I'd like Bullish fucking run. Anyone can run a show as long as I respect them, because it's just about getting information out there on the daily. It's not necessarily about. I mean, it's about me at some point because it's my channel, but it's just like, I don't want to be popular because I'm smart yet. I want to be popular because I'm learning and I'm just bringing the process on. And we're doing the fitness shit. It's gonna be crazy, dude. Just imagine how much money GRC will have in 10 years. It's sickening, really.
I think you're doing an amazing job, man. I love the channel, love the streams. Fucking, I really enjoy being on here. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you
Again.
guys. Follow Hex Tangent. I'm gonna put his shit in the description. He goes live whenever Australia says he can. So
Channels down at the moment. Hit my Twitter though. Hex
hit his
Tangent.
Twitter. Hit his Twitter. Get
tangents only.
involved with him. I want you tagging him up on everything. He's like one of the members in the community that's on the other side of the world. So like sometimes when he be up, other people be sleeping. But like a lot of the people that do channels are in the United States West Coast. So like that would be an odd ass time for you to be awake. So like those people probably never interact with you, right? Like because it's just be sleeping. Anyway, guys.
I mean, I rock some pretty weird sleeping hours sometimes.
Yeah, I was like just detracting that whole statement while I was saying it. Like, but anyway, guys, Telegram, go to my pinned tweet, hit it up. I'm taking over. Doesn't matter what anyone says. It happens automatically, guys, when I put my mind to something. So let's go, guys. We're taking over. Hex to the moon. Richard Hart, thank you so much for all the information you've given me over the fucking last 2 years, dude. You've changed my life forever.